Good evening, Carmel Greyhounds. My name is Mark Bisbecos.
And I'm Andrew Hillsman.
And welcome back to CHTV and welcome back to Carmel High School football. It is an absolute pleasure to be here with all of you tonight. Now, this game is Carmel High School versus the Center Grove Trojans. And as you can hear right behind me, the crowd is going absolutely wild. This is a huge night in Carmel's games and also for Center Grove too. This is a huge rivalry dating back all the way to the 1990s. It's absolutely historic, and everybody loves watching these kind of games.
Yeah, it's the number 1 and number 2 teams heading into a great matchup here tonight at Carmel Stadium. We should be in for a good one here, Mark.
And as we say that, Center Grove is a nationally ranked team. They are in the top 25. They are ranked 11th according to Max Preps Online. And really, when I started researching for this game, I noticed that the statistics were actually more in Carmel's favor than they were in Center Grove's favor. So that's going to be something to look for tonight. Can they really back up that 11 ranking, or is Carmel's superior stats, is that going to trump over that ranking?
Yeah, we'll see. It's going to be really close, but as you said, Carmel does have the statistical advantage as from what you saw in your research earlier, but Center Grove has some talented players. They got Caden Curry, they got Taven Jackson, both already committed to big colleges, so we'll see if those two players can have a big impact for the Trojans tonight.
And I'm not sure if you have heard the audience outside, but the Center Grove Trojans have just arrived on the field as the tremendous booing noise from the crowd has sounded off. Now, the offense. This is going to be a big one for Carmel, especially as Zach Osborne is still out currently with an injury. And we don't know exactly what his timeline's going to be when he's going to come back. So for now, Jack Kazmierzak, the hero of last game, is going to be starting this game. His first ever varsity full-time start. Now, we're really going to have to start and see if he can be a successful starter in this game and make those big plays that Carmel needs, because a lot of the times when backups play their first game, they may or may not have a spectacular game and then have an absolutely lousy game the second game. So let's see if Jack Kazmierzak can be very consistent with his play. Yeah,
Kazmierzak, he's coming in. It's his first varsity start, as you said, his first full start. And obviously, he was the hero of last week's game just a week ago. He threw that Hail Mary touchdown to Reese Bellin in the end zone to walk it off against Detroit King. But we'll see if he can still ride that high from last week into this game and see if he can carry that momentum and keep up the good morale for the Hounds.
And also with the defenses on both sides, they're both fairly young. But Caden Curry, as you said, as you mentioned his name earlier for Center Grove, is an absolute stud. So they're going to have to pay attention to Caden Curry on that defense. And also, they're going to have to pressure Jack Kazmierzak, as that guy has an absolute arm in the pocket. And if he stays in the pocket and the offensive line can hold, he can throw deep balls 30, 40, maybe even 50 yards. The guy's an absolute stud. Oh, but going back to Kazmierzak, can he scramble?
I mean, not as well as Osborne, I don't think, but he can do it if needs be. But I think Carmel's going to have to center him in the pocket a bit more, as a bit less than they do with Osborne, as he's just not as mobile. But he can, as you said, he can certainly throw it.
All right, that will be our pre-game coverage as of now. This is a very exciting game, and we cannot wait to start quarter one with you. This has been Mark Bisbecos
and Andrew Hillsman.
And enjoy the game, Greyhounds.
History. Oh boy, does this team have history. In championships, yeah, we got them too. But we're not looking back. We keeping our eyes straight ahead, think about now in this game. But don't worry, we're looking ahead too, because those goals will be the history made and wrote and tied to our names. To this team, this school, Carmel football.
Let's go! Look at Shifty move.
He got it!
Let's go!
Oh, no! Grahams got it! Touchdown! What the hell, man, to win the game? Touchdown!
Let's go 1-0.
All right, welcome back, Carmel Greyhounds. My name is Mark Bisbecos, and I will be your play-by-play announcer for tonight.
I'm Andrew Hillsman, color commentator for tonight's game, and we're in for a good one here, aren't we, Mark?
Yeah, we are, as the Carmel Greyhounds will be lined up at the 28-yard line as a solid return from Desmond Duffy.
Yeah, it looked good there, but it's time for some bait. It's time for some football here. Let's go.
Kazmierzak in the pocket. Hands the ball off, and he's immediately tackled. There was absolutely no room for him.
Well, we talked about it in the pregame show. Caden Curry, one of the key players for tonight's game for the Trojans, and he comes up with a big stop for a loss there for the Trojans.
And that was a great play around the edge, just getting him on that left tackle there, getting to the running back, and just not letting him gain any yards whatsoever. Kazmierzak doing a solid job at game managing, but he's going to have a big one tonight if he's going to want to keep his starting job. He hands it off, and he's tackled immediately. Once again, Center Grove's defense is showing what they are all about. They don't come here to play around with games. They came here to play football.
Yeah, Ethan Hall couldn't get away from Center Grove's defense on that one, and that'll be 3rd down and 15. Not looking too good for the Hounds on their first drive.
Yeah, they got to get that ball down deep downfield. I mean, so far the rushing game has not worked. Ethan Hall cannot break through that stout defensive line. They might have to go for a pass option at this point in time.
Well, you would think so, and it looks like it because we've got 3 wide receivers on the far side and 1 to the near.
Kazmierzak with the ball. They will go with the pass. Fires over to Ethan Hall, and he's knocked out of bounds.
Not exactly what the Hounds needed there, as it will be a 4th down, and the punt team is going to be coming on here for the Hounds.
And Kalen Carroll with the knockout. And that's not the kind of start you want for the Carmel Greyhounds, as they are now 3 and out in their very first drive. They have -5 rushing yards. They have 3 passing, but they have -2 overall. Not a fantastic start for the Greyhounds.
Not what you wanted here, but hopefully they can turn it around on defense and get something going. Maybe a turnover here and catch the Trojans off guard.
They're out to see with Jackson, as he is a Tennessee commit, and he's a big player on this Trojans offense. As the ball goes out of bounds at around the 45-yard line. Not the best kick ever, as the Trojans will get prime fielding.
Yeah, they're going to have a great position here, about at the 45-yard line in enemy territory. So it'll be good for Taven Jackson and the rest of his squad to come out here and start something for the away Trojans. They've got a big away following here in the far side stands for their team, and we'll see if that plays a factor in tonight's game.
I mean, it should. The noise factor could help. And also, people are throwing streamers on the Carmel sideline. Hands it off. He gets a gap, and he's immediately tackled. What a sensational play.
A fantastic tackle there from Winston Berglund. It looked like he came in from the safety spot and took down the runner for the Center Grove Trojans, only a gain of 1.
And that was a good stop there, not preventing him. He had a really good gap. That O-line did a fantastic job at getting him in a window and going straight through it, but that was a great stop by Carmel. Jackson gets the ball, looking for someone downfield, takes a shot. Oh, what a catch, and that's a 1st down for the Trojans.
Yeah, good 1st down there, pretty good, just a short pass, only 9 yards, but it will move the chains for the Trojans. Good fundamental football there from Taven Jackson.
And that was just simple. That was an outside route to his wide receiver, and that was a great play. I mean, that's textbook football. I mean, no one was guarding him. That's one thing I didn't mention in the pregame, was their secondary is still quite young. Yes, they did get a year of football, but they really have to show up because this offense is electric.
Absolutely. I think that Carmel will need to step up the defense here if they want to beat Center Grove tonight. As a flag is thrown, looks like one of the Carmel Hounds jumped on the line, so it'll be the Trojans getting a free 5 yards here.
It looked like it was the center man, the main man in the middle, who jumped the line, and that will be 5 yards for the Trojans.
Not what the Hounds wanted, as it'll give the Trojans, a free 1st and 5 yards here.
Jackson hands off to his running back, gets a window, and he's running over Greyhounds as it looks like that'll be just enough for the first down.
Great job by the offensive line there from the Trojans to open up a route for Daniel Weems to get the ball through the line and gains a good gain of about 6 yards there, and will move the chains for the Trojans yet again. They're just moving here, aren't they, Mark?
Yeah, but Carmel has to stop this. They're getting close to the red zone, and if they get close to the red zone, they're even more lethal than they were before, so they got to step up their game.
For sure.
Jackson hands the ball off once again. He's going. He gets through, and looks like he might be short, but they also might move the chains. And it looks like it's going to be second down.
It's going to be second down in inches, I do believe here. Good carry from Daniel Weems yet again. We've seen 2 in a row from him, but we'll have to see. Maybe Taven Jackson might want to take it into his own hands and toss the ball downfield to get a quick score here for the Trojans.
And right now, they're playing smash mouth football. They're getting the running back, and they are absolutely decimating their defensive line.
Not what I expected there.
Jackson once again hands it off to Weems. Weems gets through, and that will be enough for the first down once again. That was around the third time that they were able to move the chains in this drive.
Yeah, the Hounds need to hurry up and get their defensive line issues sorted out so far. Coach Rodney Deckard isn't going to be liking what he's seeing from his boys so far this drive.
Yeah, and that defensive line has got to stop this run. And it looks like I thought they would be using Jackson more as a passer than as they would be rushing with Weems. But, hey, Weems is one of their best players on their team stats-wise, and he's a stud player. So I'm not surprised why they're doing this, kind of tossing them up, tossing their expectations. As the ball once again goes to Weems, and he's just short of the end zone.
A good run there. They're just inching closer and closer towards the Hounds' goal zone. And if the Hounds can't, obviously, as I said earlier, if they cannot get something going here, it's going to be 7-0 or 6-0 in favor of the Trojans.
And not only are they, getting good first downs, but they're also running that clock down, which
Absolutely.
is, especially later in the game, that's going to become a huge deal and a huge factor for this game.
So it'll be 2nd and 2 for the Trojans now.
As he hands it off. And that will be a touchdown. Touchdown Trojans.
Touchdown Trojans. It does look like Daniel Weems was able to run it in. It was two running backs in the backfield for Taven Jackson, who was under snap, handed it off to Weems, and he was able to run it through for the touchdown. And now it'll be an extra point opportunity for the Trojans. The Hounds need to get their defense together.
I mean, as of right now, they're utilizing that rush, and they're seeing the weakness in the Carmel defensive line. Carmel has to get their act together. They have to close out the defensive line, and they have to prevent the offensive line from opening holes in their defensive line. As it currently sits, Carmel has -2 yards in total, as the Trojans have 41, and 31 of those have been rushing yards.
Absolutely, and as we were speaking there, the PAT was good for the Trojans, so the Hounds will take the kickoff in a short time here, so we'll see if their offense can actually get something going and get some momentum for the home crowd here.
I mean, usually what happens is the first drive is not always the best. They're kind of getting used to the team. They're figuring them out. But I think this is going to take a while for them to figure out. And as of right now, Center Grove is showing why they're the 11th best in the nation. And they have been playing outstanding football, not only on the defense, but on the offense too. Jackson is a huge factor, and so is Weems, managing to slip through that defensive line like butter.
Absolutely. Getting the 3 and out for the Trojans, and then going downfield methodically, just getting it through the offensive line each time, driving it down, smash mouth football, as you said earlier, and getting that touchdown. So it'll be 7-0 in favor of the away team, the Trojans here. Not what the Hounds and their crowd wanted.
Yeah, I mean, this is not the best start, as you have mentioned. But right now, this looking like it is in the Center Grove's Trojans' favor. But we never know until the last second takes off the clock in the fourth quarter. This game could take a completely different shift. But as of now, as it sits, this is a Trojans ball game.
Nolan Foley on the kickoff for the Trojans. Raise the hand, they're ready to go.
And a solid kick. And a little bit of a miscommunication there. And that was not what you want. A lot of miscommunication on this offense as of so far with Caldwell, one of their stud players.
Yeah, the ball could not get to Desmond Duffy there, as he's the designated kick returner. So one of the frontline men for the Hounds had to call a fair catch, and now the Hounds are not going to have great field position. Going to be about at the 22-yard line here to start this drive.
Yeah, not where they really wanted to start off with, but hey, they take whatever they get. Desmond Duffy's in motion. Kazmierzak looks for a pass. Fires. It's tipped up, and it goes incomplete. That could have been a dangerous play right there.
You're very, very lucky for the Hounds that it was not tipped up into the hands of a waiting Trojan, but they got lucky there. They'll need to regroup. I believe it was tipped by number 97, Owen Green, on the defensive line for the Trojans. Not what they wanted here. It'll be 2nd and 10 after the incompletion.
And not a great start for Jack Kazmierzak, as he's not really showing his true colors as he did last week. And this defense has got to step up.
Kazmierzak's going to be in the shotgun here. 2 running backs on either side. He'll take the snap, hand off to Breel. No, excuse me, that is Ethan Hall. He'll get hit, runs after contact, and he won't gain anything there. Not too good for the Hounds. It'll be 3rd down yet again.
Mm-hmm. Also, there is a flag on the field, and it looks like that is going to go against Carmel.
Even worse for Carmel. It just keeps getting worse. Although I do think it'll be a block in the back, I do believe, for the Hounds, and the penalty will be declined. So the Hounds will lose yardage here, and it'll be 3rd down and I believe 15 maybe.
We'll spot the Carmel 16-yard line. 3rd and 16.
3rd and 16, as you hear the PA announcer say. So even worse for the Hounds. They've got a long way to go here.
I don't think they're going to make this one. If they do, it's got to be a deep pass. The rush isn't working. Even the pass isn't really that effective. As Kazmierzak is ready to take the snap. Gets the snap. Looks. Takes a shot. Once again blocked. That was not a good read by Kazmierzak, as number 32 was right in front of Jack Kazmierzak.
Kazmierzak is not really able to get, he's trying to go for these bullet passes that are getting tipped at the line, can't get it elevated, and it'll be another punt for the Hounds. Not two 3 and outs here for the Hounds. This is not how they imagined this game going.
Yeah, I mean, hey, Center Grove is a good team, and as I mentioned, I'm not sure if I mentioned this one, but they're more familiar with each other. They're longtime rivals. It's like how any divisional team in the NFL or how any divisional team in the college leagues are very familiar with one another.
Punt is away. It's a good one there.
Takes a nice bounce as he's returning. He gets an outside route. He's going, and he's taken down by his own man, and there is a flag on the field after the play.
I believe that was
Mitchell Evans made the play.
Yeah, he took the ball back. He took it quite away, but there are going to be some flags on the play.
And it will be against the receiving team, which is a Trojan, so that will march them back a little bit.
I think it'll be a 5-yard penalty for the Trojans that'll be applied after the run back. So the Hounds will have it started here. Excuse me, it's going to be a block in the back for the receiving team, so the Trojans will have 1st and 20, I do believe, for the Trojans here to start their drive. So not exactly what they wanted, but good for the Hounds.
Yeah, that's kind of that booster that he needed, because, I mean, they would have been around the 35, 40-yard line if that penalty wasn't committed. And the Greyhounds must be celebrating as of right now.
Yeah, they're going to be three linemen and four in the linebackers position here coming out for the Hounds. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Trojans. Let's see what Taven Jackson can do here.
Jackson gets the ball, hands off. He gets through. He's pulling his way through, and he is just short of a 1st down, but a great run.
Yeah, great carry there from Daniel Williams. He was carrying 4 Hounds on his back there on the way to an 8-yard gain. Yet another. Taven Jackson really hasn't had to do much except to hand off to his running back, Daniel Williams, and let him do the work so far.
Yeah, I mean, this game has mostly been rush for Center Grove. Not a lot of passing yards, only 10 passing yards. As Jackson sets up, gets the ball. Here we go. takes a shot, and he's immediately hit out of bounds by Lawson Sinnis.
They are going to call that, I believe, yeah, they're going to call that incomplete. He did not get a foot down as he was hit out of bounds. He maybe even bobbled in, as the far line judge says it was out of bounds. It'll be 3rd and 2. Big opportunity for the Hounds defense here, so we'll see what they can do.
And that was a great play by Lawson Sinnis, making sure the timing was right, not too early to get that penalty or not too late to get both feet in bounds. And here is 3rd down. Jackson hands off, and he gets a throw. He breaks through, and he gets tackled. What a miracle save by Lawson Sinnis once again. That would have been a surefire touchdown.
That would not have been good for the Hounds, but what is also not too good for them is they give up the first down, not what they were looking for here. And the crowd is a bit disappointed at that, but it was a good attempt and a great tackle there by Lawson Sinnis to save a almost certain touchdown.
Mm-hmm. Drew Wheat was the person who carried it, and that was a great run by Drew Wheat. I mean, he got through that defensive line like Weems, and he flicks it off to 14. 14 takes it through, and that will be snuffed. Nowhere to go.
They'll get about 3 or 4 yards on the play, so not terrible. They'll have 3 more downs here to get that done. Looks like it's going to be 2nd and 6, so a gain of 4 there for the Trojans.
Will Webster made the play. So they have two wide receivers on the bottom. Hands it off to Weems. Weems gets stuffed up just short of the first down.
It'll be another 3rd down, about 3rd and 3 or 2 again for the Hounds. 3rd and 3 as it shows up on the scoreboard. Another opportunity for the Hounds, and the Hounds student section is raising their hands as they do on 3rd down. Let's see what they can do. 3 yards to defend for the Hounds.
I mean, they got to force a field goal here, and I genuinely would not even be surprised if they don't get the first down. They go for a fourth, because the field position is good for them. As Jackson hands it off to Weems. Weems takes it. He's going, and he's tackled, but there is a flag in the play.
Yeah, we'll have to see who is that on. I did not catch it, but Carmel did a great job blitzing the cornerback. The quarterback there, Taven Jackson, recognized the screen, recognized the blitz and audibled into a screen, so that was able to prevent him from getting sacked. We'll see what the penalty is now.
But this probably is going to go.
Holding on the offense. Great opportunity now for the Hounds. They'll have a lot more space to work with to defend this 3rd down. They will, of course, accept that penalty, and it'll be 3rd and 13 for the Center Grove Trojans.
And as I was going to say, I thought that was probably going to be against Center Grove, probably some illegal block or holding, because I think that they could have easily tackled them earlier or even earlier in the yardage. And it, once again, will be 3rd down, and this is another big opportunity. So actually it's 3rd and long for the Trojans, and let's see what Jackson could do for this offense.
3rd and 9.
Jackson steps back, fires downfield, and it's broken up. What a sensational play by the defense, and that play was done by Kyle Fedorka.
Kyle Fedorka with the great play. I thought he was going to intercept it there, but nonetheless, it will be the field goal team, I do believe, coming on for the Trojans. Great 3rd down stop from the Hounds, and now they'll have some morale going into their offensive possession next time up.
That was a great read by the junior, who's 5'9", 173 pounds. Did a great job of reading the quarterback, saw his motion, saw his movement, and when that ball was thrown out of the hands, he was right there and ready to go.
Yeah, you saw the great change of direction, and now it will be Nolan Foley for the Trojans on to attempt the field goal. And ref calls, I believe there is a timeout that has been called. It'll be or maybe they just weren't ready to get going here.
A little bit of miscommunication potentially.
Yeah, it does look to be. So it's just a whistle there. I think Carmel may have called a timeout. Not sure here. Ref is going over to talk with Coach Hebert.
We need to ask you please not use any noisemakers during today's ball.
So it is asked for the Carmel student section to stop using the air horns by the referees as it was distracting Nolan Foley. So not at all what I expected there, but the Carmel student section is certainly showing their displeasure with that decision.
I mean, if they had that rule in the NFL, the Seahawks would not have that key advantage they have, and the field goal is good.
Yeah, great kick there from Nolan Foley, and it'll put 3 more points on the board for the Trojans. It'll be 10-0 now, as the Hounds will get the next kickoff.
And right now, it's under 4 minutes for the Carmel Greyhounds. Not ideal. They still have negative numbers for their yards. 0 to 10. Trojans have 76 yards in total, 66 rush and 10 pass. So they've been completely utilizing the rush, or mostly utilizing the rush in this game.
Absolutely. Daniel Williams is dominating and you got to give props to the Trojans' offensive line for creating the holes for Weems to run through and get those big gains or little gains. We haven't actually seen him get a lot of big breakaway gains in this game. It's more been incremental, methodical gains for the Trojans, which has really been working for them as they're shutting out the Hounds 10-0.
And as of right now, they're not only having good starters out there, they're also having some good backups. I mean, Wheats was out there. He had a really good, impressive run. Weems obviously is showing his stuff. So they actually have a pretty good depth chart, at least for the running back position. But that's not what it looked like on the stats. It looked like their starters were just as spectacular. I mean, stats only go so far. I mean, they say, Carmel looks like they have the advantage on the stats, but right now the Trojans are absolutely outplaying the Hounds.
Absolutely. So it'll be Nolan Foley yet again to take the kickoff for the Trojans as they'll boot it away to the Hounds. With 3 minutes and 52 seconds left in this first quarter of play. Foley boots it away. It'll go about to the 30-yard line, so not too far.
And the fair catch is called at the 29-yard line.
Smart call to call for the fair catch. You don't want to be taking a dangerous hit there for the Hounds. And it'll be Jack Kazmierzak and crew coming back onto the field to try to lead the Hounds and get something going in this first quarter.
And Jaden King has just entered on the field, and he is one of the key wide receivers on this team. He's an absolutely sensational player.
Absolutely. The 6'0", 171 senior. He's got a touchdown, 8 receptions for 105 yards so far on the season. He'll be looking for more this year.
The guy's an absolute stud. As they have 2 running backs, he hands it off to Ethan Hall, and he's going to go nowhere.
Yeah, it's stuffed up yet again. Look to beat Caden Curry yet again, the 4-star recruit for the Trojans. Just really great tackling there and getting off his blocker for the Trojans so far. He's been a key piece of their attack so far.
And it looks like Ethan Hall is going to become running off the field.
Wonder what that's all about. Reese Bellin, the hero of last week's game, is now on our close side here.
Kazmierzak hands it off. He's trying to get somewhere, and he gets to the line, the original line of the scrimmage, but nowhere else. And that was not Hall coming off the field. That was actually someone else. My apologies. Ethan Hall is number 20.
Yeah, not what the Hounds were looking for, so it'll be 3rd and 10, back to where they started, but they've used 2 downs and 2 plays to get back there. You'd think that Kazmierzak needs to show off his arm strength here a bit and have his receivers get open.
And they're lining up Desmond Duffy in the slot, and Desmond Duffy, never mind, he's moving, as they have 2 on the bottom.
They'll go in motion to the far side. Kazmierzak takes the snap, drops back to pass, getting rushed. He'll get hit after he throws enough to throw it out of bounds towards the Trojans bench. Nothing happening there for the Hounds. And another 3 and out. That's 3 in a row now.
That is not good for Carmel. And as I mentioned earlier, guys may have one absolutely spectacular game. And this is exactly what happens to the majority of them. It happened with Jacob Eason and Sam Ellinger for the Colts. He had a great first game preseason, a spectacular game. But the second game, they did not have the best of game. Numerous interceptions, a lot of incompleted passes. So as of right now, this is what I'm seeing so far from the Carmel Greyhounds.
Yeah, not looking what they wanted to see. So it'll be Harrison Schmidt Jr. again with the punt, back to receive is, I think Brandon Wheat. He'll be stuffed up at about the 35-yard line for the Trojans. So a good punt there. So the Hounds will have to get something going again after holding the Trojans only to a field goal on the last drive.
Mitchell Evans was the person who received the ball and went nowhere, and he was stuffed up at the 38-yard line.
Yeah, way to go for the Hounds to get back and at that punt returner. Let him go nowhere and not break away for a big run. 2 minutes and 13 seconds left to go. Still 10-0 here is your score.
Jackson hands it off to Wheat. Wheat, he's getting around, and he is stuffed up.
Yeah, good tackling there from the Hounds' defensive line, but not. The Hounds would rather have him be stuffed up a bit earlier rather than getting 5-6 yards on each of these plays that they're getting.
And Billy Blevins made that tackle, and he is one of the key players on this defense. And on paper, 6 players on the defense have had 10 solo tackles for Carmel High School, one of them being Billy Blevins.
That's absolutely just impressive.
Jackson using his feet. He's running. He's going. He gets a first down. He gets out of bounds.
Yeah, not looking like the Hounds were ready for him to keep the ball there, and Jackson is going to keep it, run for his first rushing attempt of the game. It'll be for a first down. So it'll move the chains for the Trojans. They'll be at the 50-yard line now.
That was a great play. He got on the outside, and as you see, the offensive line moved the defenders to the other side so that it gave him some free running space. That's just great decision-making by Jackson. Jackson hands it off to Weems. Weems pushing through to no avail.
Yeah, good stopping there for the Hounds. But again, it's another 4-yard gain if they're keep chipping off the Hounds with these 4-yard, 5-yard gains from Weems. He's racking up these yardages. He's racking up these runs and tearing down the Carmel defensive line.
It's under 1:15 left to go in the first quarter. It looks like they might try to attempt to run this clock down, as limiting Carmel Greyhounds' time as much as possible with a 2-score game. Jackson looks back. He's under pressure. He dodges, gets out of the pocket, and he is sacked. He's taken down. What a sensational play.
Yeah, great play there from Bryce Cannon, the substitute middle linebacker, to get the sack for the Hounds. It's his first tackle of the season, and the Hounds student section, they're hyped now. It's going to be 3rd and 11 for the Trojans. Great sack there from Bryce Cannon.
And that was a great morale booster right there. They needed a big play like that, and that's an absolutely sensational play. I mean, give Jackson credit where credit's due. He avoided 2 or 3 rushes, but Cannon got to him as Jackson gets the ball, trying to find someone. Pressure on the down in the middle. Gets it, and it's just overthrown.
It looked like number 47 was the targeted tight end on a slant route. Shane Bennett, but it was just too far over for him to jump up and get it. A bit misplacement. Did not see that a lot from Taven Jackson in warm-ups today, so a bit surprising.
And now we're starting to see the Carmel defensive line really get that pressure on Jackson. That's one thing that the Carmel Greyhounds need to do. That guy can throw absolute rockets downfield. As he, in practice before the game started, he was throwing some deep balls, and they were on point. That one was overthrown, but he was under a lot of pressure there. That was a great play by the Carmel defense.
Absolutely. 4th and 11, so the punt team will be on now for the Hounds. For the Trojans. Ball's away.
Jaden King will call a fair play.
He'll take the fair catch made. It'll be about at the 17 or 18-yard line to begin this Hounds drive. Looks like very, very little time here remaining for the Hounds in this first quarter.
And it looks like they are not putting Kazmierzak on the field at quarterback. That's a surprise. I mean, as of why he's playing right now, I'm not too surprised as to why they didn't put him on.
Yeah, they're going to change things up, and it'll be Leighton Lukowski back in for the Hounds. No more Kazmierzak. As of now, they're going to give Lukowski a good try here.
Lukowski takes the ball for himself, and he is going nowhere.
It didn't fool anybody there, honestly. As the time runs down on the first quarter, Lukowski was not able to fool Center Grove's defense, and he was stuffed up there.
And Curry was on that tackle, and number 36 also was on that tackle. Great play by Owen Bright and Curry, that good duo up the middle and pressuring Lukowski.
Absolutely. So it's the end of the first quarter here. And Mark, what did you see from the Hounds that you really don't want to see in the first quarter of a big game like this?
Well, especially for the Greyhounds, they understand how big this game is. And if they lose this game, that's a huge deal. Not only are they sacrificing the top spot in the MIC, but, hey, this is one of the best teams. And if the Hounds get beat by them, it shows, hey, they're weak. They're not as good as they were last year, at least as of now. So if they win this game, it shows that they have some really good strength. And, hey, they beat a 5-star recruit quarterback last week from Michigan. I think that the Carmel Greyhounds can make a comeback, or at least that's what the coaching staff and the Carmel Greyhound fans think.
Yeah, that's certainly the goal for the Hounds here as the teams will retake the field after a short break. It'll be 2nd and 12 for the Hounds coming on to the field for the second quarter of play here. 12 minutes on the clock, about to get going in the second quarter here at Carmel Stadium.
And Lukowski is back at the quarterback position after he was absolutely smothered by Curry.
Yeah, Curry's had some great stops. I think 3 tackles so far for the defensive end for the Trojans.
Lukowski sets up, gets the ball, hands it off. That's the fake handoff, and it was swatted away. And that play was once again by Curry. This guy is the absolute star and the anchor on their defense.
Absolutely. Caden Curry is doing everything right now. He's making tackles, he's making stops, tackles for losses. Now he's batted away a pass, and it's going to be 3rd and 12 for the Hounds. Really not what they wanted here.
Yeah, and then they got to get the first down. They're having 3rd and longs consistently, while Center Grove has had more favorable stuff. They may have 3rd and short, but now they're 3rd and long, 3rd and 12. Let's see what Lukowski and the offense can do. Lukowski with the ball, trying to find someone, takes a deep shot. Oh, and he's absolutely smothered. Desmond Duffy with a great catch, but to no avail. The tackle is by Mitchell Evans.
Yeah, great tackle there by Mitchell Evans, but it will be the punt team coming on for the Hounds. Another 3 and out. 4 in a row now. I was about to say 4 and out, but no, it's a 3 and out. 4 in a row for the Hounds. They've not been able to get anything going offensively.
And this is not what the Carmel Greyhounds wanted, especially going into the second quarter. I honestly think that they have to make some huge change going out into the second half of this game because they're not on their stuff right now.
Well, at least their defense has started to pick it up a bit. We'll see what they can do on this drive as the ball is booted away over to the Center Grove Trojans.
We're on the 24, 25-yard line.
Yeah, good. Smart play to let that keep rolling and have it be deeper into Center Grove's territory.
Smart play by Mitchell Evans. We touched that ball. Carmel could have easily picked it up and ran it in for a touchdown. As Carmel is celebrating that they do have amazing field position right now, they have to make a big stop. They have to pressure Jackson Moore, which they showed some flashes of in the last minutes of the first quarter. They just got to keep that consistent play up.
Yeah, Taven Jackson, he needs to be put on his toes a bit and pressured out here by the defense as we saw last time out. They got him taken down in the backfield for that sack. They're going to need a couple more of those to get the stop
Jackson
here.
hands it off to Weems. Weems trying to get up the seam to no avail as it was a great stop by the defense. But as you might have seen, Solomon Williams was a main player in that stop.
Yeah, it was actually Will Webster who came in for the tackle. But, I mean, Solomon Williams, as you say, the safety for the Hounds, one of those players with 10 tackles, as we mentioned earlier. He's a big part of this defense, great leader. He's a senior, 6'0", 188 pounds, back in that safety position, and a great leader for the Hounds.
As they need that leadership right now, as Jackson takes the ball, hands off to Weems. Weems trying to go somewhere, and he is stuffed almost immediately by that Carmel defense. And it is 3rd down, 3rd and 3 for the Trojans.
Yeah, great stops. 2 great stops so far by the Hounds. It'll be 3rd and 3, but they've taken a bit too long to warm up here as it is 10-0, and their offense is not picking up the slack right now, so the defense needs to be doing what they're doing keep going with these great stops, and we'll see what happens here on third down and hope their offense can pick the slack up.
And right now, the Carmel crowd is cheering as Jackson sets up. There are 2 wide receivers on top, 14 in motion, hands off to, and he is stuffed. And that goes nowhere. Actually, never mind. That is a first down. They'll be enough to move the chains. What a great play by Weems.
Yeah, great run there from Weems. Gets the first down. No stop there from Carmel, but not a big play. So it'll be another 1st and 10 on the 35-yard line, just out in front of our press box here.
They got to make those clutch third down stops because that's what wins games. Defense wins games. It's been proven time and time again. As once again, Jackson gets a pass option. He's running. He's going. A nice pass by, and he will be just short of the first down. What a sensational play by the wide receiver for the Trojans.
Yeah, I do believe there is a flag on the play. We'll see what it is. Head referee goes out to the center of the field.
And that last play was by Drew Wheat for the Trojans.
Yeah, good play. Good catch there, and it looks like it'll be holding on Center Grove, so it'll be moved back to, I think it'll be 1st and either 15 or 20. Yeah, 1st and 20 here for the Center Grove. Oh, 2nd and 25, excuse me. As I guess it was a bigger penalty there for the Hounds, or for the Trojans.
And that's something Carmel really wanted it to have. As Jackson sets up, they're stacking 3 receivers on the bottom. Runs a slant. Oh, what a catch! And he is immediately stopped. As number 1 for the Trojans, Kalen Carroll is not happy with that play.
Well, I mean, he made the catch, got some good yardage back, got 10 yards back, but it would have been a first down if not for the penalty on the previous play. But you saw there, Taven Jackson didn't look to the right side of the field on that play. He had a couple wide receivers open there, but decided to throw it to Kalen Carroll, got lucky there and got the completion.
Hands it off to Weems. Weems trying to find some room, and he gets back to the original spot of the line of scrimmage. And they're saying the ball is fumbled.
It'll be a fumble for the Hounds, a fumble from Daniel Weems on the handoff. It was recovered by the Hounds, and this just might be the spark the Hounds need. They'll be coming out, Leighton Lekowski and crew back at it with fantastic field position here, Mark.
That's a great clutch play, and that's the kind of plays they need to make. Stripping Weems is not easy to do, and that was a sensational play by that defense. And now they're getting the ball back onto the field, but they have to take advantage of this. They have to score a touchdown on this play.
They absolutely need to. They need to get something going here with 8 minutes left in the second quarter. Time is dwindling to get something going here for the offense. So it'll be Leighton Lekowski and crew back on the field. He'll be under center for this one. Now he'll go back to the shotgun.
Number 17. Leighton Lekowski. He's trying to lead his men. Hands it off. He's going nowhere, and he's immediately stopped once again by Caden Curry.
An emphatic tackle there from Caden Curry, and he's looking at the supporters in the away bleachers, and he's got them fired up over there. And Caden Curry with another great stop. That's his 5th tackle of the game. And he's looking at
right now, Carmel is seeing what Caden Curry can do. This is not, I mean, he's been doing this all night. This guy came here to perform. Hey, you never know. There could be scouts watching this tape. Probably not, but you never know. And they can see Caden Curry. They can always, I recommend Ohio State look at them. I'm a huge Ohio State fan. You can look at Caden Curry and check him out. As Zekowski steps back under pressure, gets out of the pocket. He's going to use his legs, and he gets out of bounds.
Great movement there from Lekowski on his feet. Way to be a thinking quarterback there from great play there from Lekowski. Got to use his feet to get going on the Hounds on the close side of the field. Got an important gain for the Hounds there. It'll be 3rd and 5, but Leighton Lekowski showing off his legs.
And right now, Lekowski is once again back on the field. That was a great play. He got out of the pocket, out of pressure, and didn't lose any yardage. And it's now 3rd down. Duffy in motion. Lekowski trying to find someone. Under pressure, gets a play to Jaden King. What a sensational throw.
That was a great throw. He was about to be hit by one of the defensive linemen for the Center Grove Trojans, but is able to get the pass off and hits Jaden King right in the chest for a big gain. It'll move the chains in the red zone now for the Carmel Greyhounds.
That was a great play over the middle for Lukowski. As Lukowski is having some confusion with what the play call was going to be. Zukowski with Hall in the backfield. Lukowski gets the ball, hands off to Hall. Hall, and he is going to go absolutely nowhere as that stout defensive line makes the big stop for the Trojans.
Yeah, if you look at the offensive line differences here, you've seen that Center Grove's offensive line has been able to open up much more holes for their running back compared to Carmel. It's going to be 2nd and 10 as nothing was gained there, as you said on that previous play.
I mean, really, Carmel has to find the rhythm of the run, because if you can balance the run and the pass, run can open up the pass, because they might say, oh, they're going to go for a run option, but then they fake it and go for a pass option instead. So again, that play action in there can be really crucial for this game. Lukowski takes a shot over to Jaden King. Jaden King, and he is going to be taken out just short of the pylon.
Great hustle there from Jaden King, the speedy senior wide receiver, the wide receiver one for this Hound squad, and he brings the Hounds into 1st and goal now. 1st and 2, only 2 yards to go. See if they can maybe slam it in for the Hounds. The Hounds are going to want to get something going here with 6 minutes left.
And I'm surprised why they aren't double covering Jaden King. I mean, this guy's a clutch player. He's been coming in clutch ever since he started playing football here. As now, they're running in. One receiver on the top and bottom. Hall in the backfield. Hands it off. And he's going to be snuffed. Nowhere to go.
Yeah, the run game is not working for the Hounds so far. They're, especially with this goal line stand for the Trojans, they may want to look to a quick slant route across the middle of the field for Jaden King or Desmond Duffy to look. Those are both speedy guys. Maybe you want to cut across in the middle, trust that offensive line to give protection to Leighton Lukowski and have him throw a bullet into the middle of the end zone for a touchdown.
Yeah,
Let's see if it happens.
I think they need to be using more of the slant routes. Those are tricky routes, and they can be kind of slippery. But and it looks like he's Duffy's lined up in the slot. As
Duffy
Lukowski
in the slot, back up.
Fires to Duffy! A touchdown by Desmond Duffy, and the Greyhounds are on the board as the crowd goes wild.
Great play there, great movement on the feet, great throw from Leighton Lukowski into the back of the end zone on the out route for Desmond Duffy, and Desmond Duffy will pick up his 3rd touchdown on the year for himself. The junior there on the starting varsity squad, and it'll be 6-10 pending the PAT for Carmel's kicker. And what a great pass there from Leighton Lukowski.
And as we were speaking, that was a slot slant route. That was one of those slippery routes, and that is why slant routes work, especially in the red zone. They're super slippery. They get under the radar. They get under the quarterback's radar. They get under the outside and middle linebackers, and it just goes right through. A beautiful pass to Desmond Duffy. Desmond Duffy, a good job of looking back, because sometimes a lot of inexperienced guys will just kind of keep on going forward and look back too late. But also, good job by Lukowski hitting him in stride.
Yeah, it was a great throw, great catch there, and now the Hounds are only down by 3. They've trimmed that deficit before the half ends, but they've got 5.5 more minutes of football to play before they can go get a rest in the locker room. But they are fired up right now, just as is their home supporters in the student section right below us.
And once again, they will get that massive momentum boost and adrenaline boost that they needed in this game, as it is now a 1-score game. They only need 1 possession, and they will need 1 touchdown or a field goal to tie it, a touchdown to take it.
It's going to be Ben Sponsler for the kickoff for the Hounds. Almost ready to go. 2 returners back deep for the Trojans at the 10-yard line. Looking for a big kick here from Sponsler. He takes 7 steps back, 3 to the left, as most kickers do. Raises the hand, and now he's ready to go.
And a great kickoff by Carmel. And he takes it down. He's going up the field, and a great stop by Carmel.
Yeah, they're going to get him down about the 18 or 19-yard line. Really, really great kick. Got to give props to Ben Sponsler there. Gives it about a 60-yard kick there. So really, really fantastic stats and a really great leg there from Ben Sponsler. And now the Hounds are going to have some good positioning on defense. See if they can get another turnover just like they did on the last possession.
Yeah, and that was a great part of that defense, and all props given to Jalen Thompson. But that was a great part of the defense. He was nowhere to go, and they surrounded him. They got 3 guys on him, making sure all covering from all points and making sure he went nowhere as Jackson sets up. Hands it off to Weems. Weems. And he gets around 5 to 6 yards. A very solid run.
Yeah, it was very good there for Weems. We've seen it time and time again tonight. Now, something I notice, neither team has used a timeout yet. Neither team. And with 5 minutes, you would think they would start to be using these. 5 minutes left in the first half of play, but nothing used yet.
And as I was saying earlier with rushing, they almost have 100 yards in rushing to Trojans, as they will utilize the rush once again as a big play by Weems, as it will be enough to get the first down, but a clutch stop by the defense.
Yeah, it was a good tackle there from number 93 for the Hounds. Looks like it was, 23. Aiden McFall on the tackle to come off to the sideline. But a really, really great stop from the Hounds, but it will be a first down Trojans.
And right now, Trojans are the king of total yards with 127 total yards. 107 of those are rushing yards and 20 are passing.
Yeah, great stats there from the Trojans.
It's Weems. Finds all the room, and he's stuffed. I mean, one thing I've noticed about Weems is he finds those openings. He finds where the gaps are. He gets through them. He pushes around, and he can get some really good yards.
Yeah, you know, Weems, you look at him, he's a bit bigger than your standard senior running back from high school, especially with Carmel. We have smaller running backs here, but he's a 6'0". He's 5'9", 200 pounds, but he's really nimble on his feet as a running back should be.
I mean, that's around the same height as Jonathan Taylor for the Colts, so it's a perfect running size. As a fake handoff downfield, and it is caught! Oh, what a sensational play by that offense, and that is why Jackson has been committed to Tennessee.
Yeah, the Tennessee commit makes a great throw for about a 30-yard gain there. Really what the Trojans wanted there to get into enemy territory. Now they only have about, 30 yards to go until they get a touchdown here. 33 minutes and 30 seconds left to go for the Trojans, and a great throw from Taven Jackson.
And that's why Jackson's lethal in the pocket. You have to pressure him because he can make those insane throws. As Jackson hands off to Weems, and Weems will gain some yards, roughly about 5 to 6 yards once again.
Yeah, Weems, we've just seen him just blasting through and getting those 5-6 yard gains. It wears down a defense, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly what the Colts' mindset is. And there's a saying for the Colts, run the dang ball, is one of their slogans. And it works every time you use the rush. As long as you get an effective rush game, I mean, it can punish defensive lines. As he'll hand it off once again to Weems. But this time, Weems is stopped by the Carmel defense.
Yeah, the play was a bit slow getting going as Jackson bobbled the snap a tiny bit, and it was a bit slow to hand it off to Weems. It'll be 3rd and 5 for the Hounds here.
And Will Held got that clutch stop. And now it's 3rd and 5 for the Trojans. Not bad field position for them. And this is kind of long for a field goal, so they have to get a first down if they want to think of scoring.
Absolutely.
Hands it off to Wheat. Wheat is, it looks like he's going to be stopped.
Yeah, it's going to be 4th down. So we'll see. Looks like the regular offensive unit is staying on the field here, so they're going to go for it in the Hounds territory. It's a good call to go for it. 4th and 3. They only need those 3 yards. I do believe the regular offensive unit will be staying on Looks like they might want to run it with Weems up the middle. We'll see what they do.
And I'm not surprised they're going for this. I mean, they've been feeling pretty confident all night, and they've been able to slip through this defense. It's Jackson trying to find someone. Gets a side pass off to Wheat. Wheat will get just enough, it looks like, for the first down.
Yeah, I mean, there was no one covering Wheat on the there was no one lurking for the first down. It'll be a first down for the Trojans. There was no one lurking in the middle of the field for that tackle to be made or a stop to be made before the first down yard line.
And it is enough to move the chains down the field, as that was a great play by Wheat there.
Certainly was. Now it's going to look like Jackson's going to be alone in the backfield here.
Jackson hands it off and he's going to go around. He's dodging, and then he's tripped up. Nowhere to go.
Yeah, the Trojans tried the triple option. They had Wheat coming off from the near side of the field. They had him going in motion, snapped the ball, but maybe Jackson didn't make the right call there on the triple option. Now we got a minute left. Maybe the Trojans just trying to salt down this clock for the Hounds to not have another possession in this first half.
Yeah, and they handed it off to Brandon Wheat instead of Drew Wheat. It was a fake handoff to Drew Wheat, and then Brandon Wheat went nowhere. As Jackson steps back, looks, fires downfield, and it is caught! It's caught! And Greyhounds say no, looks, but the fires
officials
downfield, and it is caught! Actually, never mind.
It's
it is
caught!
not going to be a touchdown. What a clutch defensive play.
Yeah, Kalen Carroll didn't like that call. He went up for it one-on-one in the back corner of the end zone. Could not come down with it. Maybe didn't get 2 feet down there. It'll be 3rd down and 16 now for the Trojans. So they really missed an opportunity there, not getting the touchdown.
I mean, that was a great throw by Jackson. Nothing on him. It's just that coverage on that secondary was really, really good.
Yeah, fantastic coverage from, I think it was, well,
Jackson fires. Another deep shot downfield, and it's almost intercepted. What a great defensive play as number 10 for the Center Grove Trojans, Harrison Stomps, could not get that catch.
Yeah, great coverage there from the Hounds. They had 2-on-1 in the near corner of the right side of the field. So another great stop there from the Hounds, and it looks like there's a bit of confusion on what is going to happen for the next play. Is it going to be a punt, kick, or are they going to go for it here? Let's see.
And it looks like they're going to go for it. They have Jackson lined up.
They don't have much else of an opportunity. It doesn't really give the Hounds bad field, or it doesn't give them great field position if they can't get it, but they do risk a turnover.
Jackson trying to find someone downfield. It's under pressure, escapes the pocket. He's going to take it with his legs, and he's going to go nowhere, and Carmel will get the ball back.
Yeah, great stop there, but they're running out of time. They only have 30 seconds to formulate a drive here, so it's going to be, I do believe, Leighton Lukowski back on the field. Yes, it's going to be Leighton back on the field for the Hounds. He's got 30 seconds to get the lead maybe for the Hounds. They do have 3 timeouts, however, which is going to be really, really key for the Hounds here.
I mean, as of right now, they're going to have to go with deep passes because Leighton Lukowski has shown, he can make good medium-sized passes, but they do have 3 timeouts, as you mentioned, and -9 rushing yards. So the rush game, as of now, is just not working out. I would say pass is probably their best option.
Right, passes maybe to the edges of the field to maybe get it out of bounds and stop the clock.
And Center Grove will call a timeout.
Yeah, it's just going to be a strategic reset for both teams here. Center Grove Trojans going to use their first timeout of the half. Again, it surprises me. Both teams, there's still 5 timeouts left on the board. We haven't seen a single one used for 24 minutes now.
And it's just now that they're getting their first timeout called. I mean, usually it's more frequent than this. Usually there's typically 2, maybe 1 left for both teams, but they've been doing a pretty good job at conserving them. They're not really needing them as much, but I will say Carmel has to get their rushing game down because, again, -9 to 122 rushing yards. That is blatantly, it's a huge difference between the 2 teams.
I mean, it just goes to show the power of Daniel Weems. He's been having a great game so far, carrying the rock great for the Trojans, coming into Carmel Stadium and just blowing up the defensive line.
Well, I mean, it's Daniel Weems and Drew Wheat, that deadly duo that's been destroying their defense. As Lukowski lines up, gets the ball, and they're going to go for pass downfield. And that's a great catch down the middle once again. And I think they're trying to get him down the middle.
Yeah, they're going to be running some hurry-up offense here. Lukowski wants to get his men, and now it actually will be a timeout called for the Hounds here. So they'll use their first timeout with 27 seconds left to play here. Great first play of this drive.
Yeah, I mean, it was made by Adrian Caldwell, one of their more stud receivers. At least a very solid option. I mean, it looks like right now they're getting a lot of down the middle passes. So more like the seam passes and other stuff like that. So honestly, great playmaking by the coaching staff here.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it's been some great calls so far for both sides. And it's first and 10 on the 29-yard line. Hounds still have about 71 yards to go for a touchdown or to get into field goal range perhaps for Ben Sponsor to get a kick and it maybe 3 points to tie this one up going into the locker room for the halftime.
And right now, the tension is building up as time is slowly ticking away on the clock with 27.8 seconds left to go.
Lukowski in the backfield, in the shotgun.
Lukowski gets the ball, takes another shot down the middle. That one's to Duffy, but he is going to be stopped.
He almost got away from his defender there. I believe it was Jalen Thomason on the tackle there. Great stop there from the dangerous. Great job by Thomason to stop the dangerous Desmond Duffy.
Yeah, and I think that wasn't the best play for Carmel because now they've used their second time out, and they're going to have to play some hurry-up offense. It means getting more sideline passes, getting out of bounds to stop the clock. And this is really where a lot of the better teams show their true colors. I mean, you look at some of the greatest drives of all time. I'm looking at The Drive. It's called The Drive by Joe Montana and the 49ers. I mean, that is what Super Bowl winning teams do. Obviously, this is not the Super Bowl, but this is what state championship teams do. With 19 seconds on the clock, they get touchdowns. They get points. And if they can get a score here, that says a lot about the Carmel Greyhounds.
It most certainly does.
As Lukowski sets up, takes a deep shot downfield. It's almost blocked, and a great catch by Jaden King, and he gets out of bounds with 15.5 seconds left to go. They shaved almost under 4 seconds left. 4 seconds off the clock.
Great play to get out of bounds by Jaden King. Stops the clock. Great fundamental football. Great awareness by King. But now the Hounds have got 15 seconds to travel 55 yards. So it's certainly still a daunting task for the Hounds.
Yeah, I mean, I would say one deep ball downfield could get you set up. As Lukowski trying to find a person, takes a deep shot down the middle. That's the Duffy. He gets the right players, and he obviously has the first down and way more with 6 seconds on the clock.
Yeah, looks like Carmel is most likely going to call another timeout. Yes, it will be Carmel with another timeout here.
In the last timeout of the first half, they're going to have to make some deep shot downfield. I don't see how they're going to get it out of bounds. I mean, the only other option I can see is doing a short pass to the outside, getting the guy out of bounds, and then kicking a long field goal or doing a Hail Mary-esque kind of pass downfield into the end zone.
Well, you said Hail Mary. Well, we saw a bit of that last week, didn't we, Mark? So we might be able to see some more magic here from the Hounds. Wouldn't that be something to see?
I mean, it is Leighton Lukowski. We haven't seen much of him, but if it was the other guy on the field, I think it would be much better.
Well, I mean, I think Lukowski's been doing quite fine after Kazmierzak was taken out of the game earlier in that first quarter of play. He's been making great passes, got 80-some yards so far, 79 yards, I do believe, for Lukowski, excuse me. So 6.3 seconds left on the clock for the Hounds. as they're about ready to get going here on the 39-yard line.
Let's see what Lukowski can do. Lukowski with the ball, trying to find someone. Pressure by Curry, takes a deep shot downfield, and that is going to be intercepted. That was going absolutely nowhere. And the ball is fumbled, but recovered by number 17 on the defense.
Yeah,
and that will end the second quarter and the first half. Trojans 10, Hounds 7.
Yeah, both teams are going to head back to the locker room. But the Hounds, I think they have to be a bit happy, but also a bit disappointed with what they were able to bring out in this in the first half. They are down by 3, but it's only 3 points. Only a field goal ties it up, and a touchdown will take the lead for the Hounds. So we'll see what they can do in the second half of play.
I mean, they really have to solidify that rushing game. As I mentioned, they are still at -9 rushing yards compared to 122. They have to step up the game if they want to have a chance of winning this game. But as of right now, they have 89 passing yards, which is more than the Trojans. So that is a positive. And they also got some good ball movement, and they had some pretty good drives. So that is some things they can look forward to.
Yeah, I mean, I agree wholeheartedly. But the Hounds, they've got to get something going here, especially on defense. They have to find a way to shut down Daniel Weems and Drew Wheat. They can't just let them go rampant in the second half. Otherwise, it's just going to leave more opportunities for the Trojans to score.
All right, this has been Mark Bisbecos
and Andrew Hillsman.
And you can join us back again after the commercial break as the Carmel High School Marching Band will be performing their halftime show. And we cannot wait to see what happens in this dramatic second half.
BMW remaining for only $20.
Are we off? Okay. That has to be told.
Good evening, Carmel Greyhounds, and welcome back. This is our short little halftime show. I'm Mark Bisbecos.
And I'm Andrew Hillsman.
And today, the current score for the Carmel Greyhounds versus Center Grove Trojans game is 10-7 in the favor of the Trojans. Let's talk about the game a little bit. I mean, the Trojans have been absolutely dominant in this game.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the dynamic duo of Weems and Wheat in the backfield for the Trojans has been devastating for the Hounds. They haven't found a way to stop it with either the defensive line or the linebackers. Nothing has worked for them as the Trojans have over 120 rushing yards just in the first half of play.
And also, I mean, compared to -9 yards to 122 rushing yards, that's absolutely insane. And that will be our short little report for you. Join us back for the second half.
Please welcome the 2021 High School Marching Greyhounds.
Welcome back, Carmel Greyhounds. My name is Mark Bisbecos.
My name is Andrew Hillsman.
And welcome back to the second half of this exciting matchup between the Hounds and the Trojans, a long-time rivalry, as the kickoff is just about to begin. Kick is up, and the second half begins. As a catch by number 13, he's going, and he is stopped. No, he's not. He keep on going, and he is going to be snuffed at around the 21-yard line. A great return by the Trojans.
Yeah, good return to start off the second half, and as the score entering this second half of play is 10-7 in favor of the Trojans, as the Trojans will get the ball first here. It'll be Taven Jackson and crew coming out back onto the field for the second half of play.
And Brandon Wheat made that play on the receiving. Now, let's see if Jackson can repeat that success in the first half. Hands it off to Wheat. And Wheat will go somewhere roughly about 5 to 6 yards. And a great play by Drew Wheat there. And once again, Drew Wheat is showing his colors as this rush is showing its lethality. And as of right now, the defense looks more or less the same from last two quarters, and the last half.
Yeah, hopefully for the Hounds, hopefully they've made some adjustments to stop the rush attack from the Trojans.
As Weem looks like he got around a first down, it potentially might have looked over, but never mind. It will be a third down instead.
It'll be 3rd and 1 for the Trojans. So the Hounds have a chance for a 3-and-out now on the first drive.
And the stop was made. The stop was made by Solomon Williams. A great play on defense. It is 3rd and 1. They have to make this big stop right here. And if they can make this big stop, it shows that clearly the coach's staff talked to the defense. And he takes it, and that will be another first down. And he keeps on going, and this guy is unstoppable. Weems with a first down.
Yeah, great run again. Time and time again, we've seen by Weems. He's just running it straight through, no fear whatsoever, using his legs to get a first down for the Trojans.
I mean, he's lowering his head, he's lowering his shoulders. I mean, he's plowing through people. That's just textbook running back stuff right there. Great play by Weems, and let's see if Jackson can kind of shake it up a little bit here. Jackson hands it off to Wheat. Wheat trying to get some ground, and he gets pushed back for roughly a 3 to 4 yard gain.
Yeah, what I'm seeing from the backfield for the Trojans is that Weems and Wheat are both on the field at the same time, so it's a bit of a double-pronged attack for the Center Grove Trojans. Maybe that's a change they wanted to make their offense even more effective coming into the second half.
And they could try to do a fake to Weems or to Wheat, and then do a fake to either running back or use him as receivers and put him in a slot as he hands it off to Wheat. Wheat trying to get around. He gets through the crowd, gets the first down. He still is going, and he's then taken down by 3 Carmel Greyhounds.
Yeah, what a great spin move there by Wheat. That was a fantastic. I'm absolutely loving these two running backs' foot movement here. They're quick on their feet, they're nimble, and they can move fast when they need to.
I mean, the thing is, they get hit and they just don't go down, and they just keep on going forward. They don't go back. They don't try to swoop around and get around the defenders. They just go straight through, and that's just, again, textbook running back play. As Jackson hands it off to Wheat once again. Wheat trying to find a gap there. He gets around the defenders and is able to gain a decent amount of yardage.
Yeah, good run again. Carmel, they haven't been able to put a stop so far. Every play has been a run play coming out in the first 3 minutes of this first half, or the second half, excuse me. So they'll need to get something going here. Maybe they need to put more pressure on the inside down that center lane in the line.
Yeah, and the linebackers have to have better reads too, because the running backs are able to get through and they're not able to tackle them as easily. As now Jackson sets up, trying to find someone, takes a deep shot downfield, and it's caught! Oh, no, never mind, it was incomplete, it was swatted away. What a sensational defensive play by the Greyhounds.
Yeah, fantastic play there by number 7. It looked to be Jacob Cortelyou on the stop for the Hounds. So a clutch stop, and it'll bring up 3rd down and 6 for the Hounds. Great stop there, and it'll be another great opportunity for the Hounds to get going here.
And that's the kind of defensive stops the Greyhounds absolutely need. And this is what I like to see from the secondary. They're getting the man-to-man coverage. They're knowing where the ball is. They know when to turn around, and they kind of get that rhythm down. As he hands it off to Wheat. Wheat goes on the outside route. And there's a flag. It looks like it's going to be, I saw a holding on the play, or either a legal block in the back or holding on the Center Grove Trojans. I think there are some guys who had a good angle on that, and obviously I think this one's going to affect Center Grove.
Yeah, we'll see. Yep, it's going to be holding on the offense, so that'll set them back a couple of yards. Not what they wanted there to get, but they'll have another shot at least at the third down, but it will be from a much further distance away.
And the Greyhounds will also have another shot at stopping that third down conversion, and it's even further back than it was. It's third and even longer than it was before, so that also increases their chances of getting a stop. As now they're taking some time to set up the position, and the bells will toll. It is third down and 17 for the Trojans right now. It's not looking too good. And I think this is the part where they start to slip in those slants, slip in those deep hook routes or whatever they want to do here. Let's see. Jackson looking like he's going to pass. He gets out of the pocket, and he's going to use his legs. He's going to get a first down. He dodges, does a spin move, and he goes down out of bounds and gains a little bit more.
Yeah, Taven Jackson using his legs there to get the first down. Didn't see anybody open in the middle of the field or on the side, so he just decided to tuck it and run for himself, and he'll get the first down for the Trojans.
And again, as I mentioned in the first half, that's what championship teams do. They get third down conversions, and that is exactly what the Trojans have been doing, especially with that sensational run by Jackson. Jackson hands off to Wheat once again. Wheat trying to go on the outside. He gets break loose. He's going, and that is going to be a touchdown.
Yeah, Wheat not. He just had an open lane along the far side of the field. No blocking, or great blocking, excuse me, and really no defensive response from the Hounds, and it'll be 16-7 pending the extra point for the Trojans. Not how the Hounds wanted to come out of the locker room in this third quarter.
But that's also how the Trojans want to come out this second half. Sensational drive there. Took a good amount of time off the clock and was able to score a touchdown and hopefully get 7 points right here. Kick is up, and it is good. That is 7-17. Trojans take an even bigger lead. Once again, a 10-point lead with a 2-possession game.
Yeah, as he said, now it's a 2-score game. Carmel will get the ball. They need a quick score here, I think.
Yeah, they need a quick score and a quick stop on defense because they have been able to, as I mentioned in the first half, rushing helps so much because, as you saw there, he was able to get Wheat going the outside route, and it was able to open up the passing game. They got some, not the biggest plays. Most of the big plays are coming from rushing yards, as now they have 211 rushing yards and 55 passing yards. They have really been utilizing not only Jackson's legs, but Wheat's and Weems' legs overall, and the defense has not been able to keep up.
Well, you know, what I'm seeing is when they do decide to pass, I think that their offensive line is just so good that Jackson has the opportunity to get his feet set and make a good throw downfield. But when the Hounds' defensive line is able to get past and pressure Jackson, he gets uncomfortable. He's not able to make a good throw, and the Hounds are able to get incompletions and maybe even turnovers in the second half.
But the difference is that he's also able to get out of the pocket. So what you need to do is you need to isolate him in the pocket, keep him in there, and prevent him from running outside, going on those outside routes, and maybe trying to get other reads or other options downfield, or using his leg strength like he has been using it his entire game. The kick is up, and it is going to be received by Lawson Sinnis. Lawson Sinnis, he's going downfield in a pretty solid return. It looks like he went out at around the 32 or 33 yard line.
Yeah, Lawson Sinnis, it looked like a lane was going to open on the near side of the field along the near sideline, but nothing happened. But still, the Hounds have the ball at about the 37-yard line here, so pretty solid return on the kick for the Hounds.
And also, Sinis saw that there was nowhere to go, so he went on the outside, and for the most part, it was pretty open, but good job by Center Grove of pushing Sinis out of bounds. And looks like Lukowski would be back out, as it looks like they're not going to start Kazmierzak, which is an interesting storyline. As Lukowski, he's going to use his legs, and he's going to be taken down from behind.
Yeah, we got two mobile quarterbacks. In the pregame show, we mentioned that maybe the two backups that Carmel had were not as mobile as Zach Osborne, but we've been disproven here as Leighton Lukowski's gone and ran it himself, tucked it and run a couple of times and gotten some pretty good gains from it.
Yeah, I mean, obviously nowhere near the level of Zach Osborne. I mean, the guy has 108 rushing yards by himself, numerous rushing touchdowns. The guy's an absolute stud. No wonder why Colgate called him up, and he's going to Colgate. As now, he's got two running backs in the backfield, hands it off. It's a fake toss, a trick play, but unfortunately will be just short. It looked like that was called by Ethan. It was carried by Ethan Hall on that play, and that was a great fake, but not getting that first down really, really does hurt.
Well, they had the two running backs in the backfield. They had Beidel and Hall. Lukowski faked the handoff to Beidel and then tossed it back over to Hall on the far side for the triple option. Worked actually quite well, and it'll be 3rd and 3. Not too much, but still a third down for the Hounds. They need to convert.
And again, I'm going to repeat this. I'm going to beat a dead horse at this point. Look, championship teams get third down conversions, and if they can get it here, which Lukowski fires, and it's blocked. And again, they're having a lot of problems with their third down conversions, and that's why the Trojans are winning. One of the many reasons why the Trojans are currently winning 17-7 as of right now.
Yeah, I think there's a bit of confusion on what team they're going to put out on the field, but it does look like the Hounds are going to go for it. The punter's going to stay on the sideline here. What do you think of this one?
I'm not too sure. I mean, it gives them Center Grove really good field position, and if they don't get it, I mean, Center Grove's defense, anchored by Curry, is just absolutely phenomenal. And let's see what happens as Lukowski fumbles a little bit, and he is not taken down. He's going to the outside. He looks, fires, incomplete, and that's exactly what I feared. Curry came up the middle and put pressure on him. That is not good for the Greyhounds, as now Center Grove Trojans will get extremely good yardage.
Well, you got to give Leighton Lukowski a bit of credit there. He was able to avoid the first sack attempt, but running over to the far side of the field, as soon as he released the ball, he got absolutely blasted by the Trojans. A big hit there that you don't want to see your quarterback take.
Yeah, I mean, that's just kind of scary. I mean, that's why so many quarterbacks, especially in the NFL, go out, mostly considerably Andrew Luck. He had a promising career ahead of him, but injuries piled up. As it's handed off to look like Weems, and there is some shoving on the field between 47 and 47. Both 47s on the team, and that's not good for either side.
Yeah, it looked like the Hounds thought they had recovered the fumble, but the referees called no turnover on the play. So it's going to be, I do believe, 2nd and 5 or so, I think. Here.
And it was between Shane Bennett on the side. As now it's handoff to Weems. Weems gets upside. And the whole Bennett skirmish, that's just immature. And that's what loses people games. I mean, there's been a lot of scenarios, not only in NFL, but in college, where players start fighting or beefing, and it just never goes well for anybody. And you get penalties, you get subtracted yards. It's never a good thing.
No, it's not. I mean, as a high school kid, you want to see them play their hearts out, which is what both teams have been doing so far, and I'm absolutely loving it.
Also, it's negative for scouts because they the guy likes to fight a lot. As now, it's handed off to Weems. Weems going. Oh, that's Wheat. My apologies. And he's tripped up, but it looks like he is going to get a touchdown. Never mind. It looks like he is going to be just short of the end zone. But what a sensational run by Wheat there once again. this team is just absolutely blowing the Hounds out of the water. And it looks like right now the Trojans are going to go 3-0 and the Carmel Greyhounds are going to go 2-1.
Well, we can't count it out. We can't count the Hounds out yet, but they need some miracle stop here. It's 1st and goal with only 1 yard to go. And what a great run by Wheat there. You got to give it to him there. He's speedy. He is very, very fast.
I mean, he's an elusive runner, and they are stacking up once again to Weems, and that looks like it's going to be, not sure just yet. A touchdown. Touchdown, Center Grove.
And you can see the far visiting stands, they're going wild, and now the Hounds really, this isn't how they wanted to start the third quarter. I mean, the third quarter, we've got 5 minutes left, and now they've let up 2 touchdowns, PAT pending. It might just be 24-7 now in favor of the away Trojans.
Yeah, I mean, hey, they're living up to their, number 11 rank on Max Preps and nationwide. They are playing some outstanding football today. I mean, really, there isn't much to complain about. I mean, they're having a good rush. I would like to see them pass more, but hey, whatever works, works. They have over 300 yards. Majority of it's rushing. And as I said, the rush opens up the pass. So they're definitely trying to get a scenario where they might want to fake the rush, maybe do a flea flicker play, and then a deep pass downfield to one of their stout wide receivers, but they've mostly been using the rush.
Right, and you look at the scoreboard and you see, the Center Grove Trojans, they have 310 offensive yards. And then you look at the other side, and the Hounds have been held to under 100 yards on offense.
And still, they are in the negatives for rushing. They were at -9, but now they're at -2. So not looking too hot for the Greyhounds.
No, not the showing that the running backs wanted to have after a fantastic game last week, but it'll be maybe an opportunity to get something going. But next opportunity on defense for the Hounds, I think they need a turnover.
Yeah, I mean, I would say a touchdown here, a pick 6 potentially right here, but also not right here, but next play or next possession. I think that would be good for the Greyhounds, but they need an absolute miracle. This game is looking like it's slipping slowly away out of the hands of the Hounds and into the hands of the Trojans.
Yeah, but the famed Carmel student section still in full force here. Almost no one is left down here still supporting the hometown team.
I mean, look, they had an insane comeback against the Detroit team last weekend, and as you probably have seen the clips on social media of that amazing Hail Mary pass by Kaz Mirzak. And let's talk about Kaz Mirzak a little bit. I'm a little bit disappointed in his performance this time. He hasn't been that good. He threw an interception. That was Lukowski who threw an interception, but he has not been consistent. He's been giving up a lot of those third down conversions, and that's not entirely his fault. I mean, this defense is so darn good, and they're making so many good plays. It's just like, how do you compete against that?
Well, somebody on the Hounds has got to step up, right? I mean, there's not really been a standout player for the Hounds like we've seen with Caden Curry on the side of the Trojans.
I mean, statistically speaking, Caden Curry is the only person who has 10 tackles on the defense for the Trojans. As Lukowski fires over the middle, and it is too low for Desmond Duffy.
And Desmond Duffy, he made a good effort there, but it was a bit just too low thrown. I think Lukowski was a bit hustled there. He may be feeling the pressure from Curry on the right side, so couldn't get that throw to be accurate, and it'll be 2nd and 10.
And actually, I talked to one of the backups. His name is Andy Sinnott, one of the backup linemen for the Carmel Greyhounds, and he said that offensive line's got to step up because Caden Curry is a big player. I mean, that guy can just get around linemen, and he can sack the quarterback, and we have to contain him. So it's very, very important. As Lukowski takes a shot downfield and a good short pass to get to 3rd down.
Well, yeah, it is 3rd down, as you said, but they did get a decent chunk of yardage, so it's manageable here. But they need a conversion. They absolutely need something here on 3rd and 4.
I mean, look, I don't know if I should say this one again, but but here's the thing, right? Champions get third down conversions. They have not been getting third down conversions for the majority of the night. And let's see if Lukowski can change that. As Lukowski gets the ball, trying to find a pass, gets it, and it's swatted away. And once again, they will not get their first down.
Yeah, I mean, that's just not what you want to see. It was shot on the side of Center Grove, who batted that ball down on at the line of scrimmage. So it'll be another 3 and out, and it's just not looking good for the Hounds. They can't get anything going offensively, Mark.
Yeah, I mean, they've kind of hit a brick wall with this defense. I mean, this defense is absolutely stout, and this really isn't looking like the team that we saw last year, which went on to win the 6A state championship. But you do have to remember last year, the Carmel Greyhound football team didn't get off to the best of starts, but they turned it around, and they are now currently the defending 6A football state champs. So I guess we'll have to see.
Yeah, I mean, we will have to see, but as we go back to the field, the punt there was not maybe the best punt that Carmel could have had. They did what they could with it, but now it's about almost at midfield for the Trojans as the Trojans offense will come back out, and Jackson will be back on the field for the Trojans.
And that Sponsler did not do a good job of kicking the ball. And there's already a flag on the field. Could be.
Legal substitution is the call against Center Grove.
And it would be a legal substitution.
Yeah, bit of an interesting call there. Not really sure what happened, but not how Center Grove wanted to start a big drive. This could maybe ice the game, even though we're only in the third quarter. This could really put a dampen on Carmel here. But again, it's high school football. Anything can happen.
Yeah, I mean, these guys are young, they're spry, they have a will to play this game. I mean, you look at like college, NFL, typically the guys are much older. I mean, yeah, they're rookies on both sides, but these guys are still in high school. Some of them aren't even adults yet. And so they have way more energy, and their bodies can take a lot more hits and a lot more punishment. And so it's just they can play for longer and have a lot more energy. As now Jackson will take the snap once again, hand it off to Wheat. Wheat go on the outside, and he will be stopped at the line of the scrimmage. But I've noticed something about Wheat. He likes going to the outside. That's kind of his main thing. So if Desmond Wheat gets the ball, you best bet Carmel's defense, well, they should at least, go to the outside and prevent from the far side, preventing Wheat from getting any kind of major play.
Yeah, it is interesting because Wheat and Weems have very different running styles.
Jackson, fake hands off, takes a deep shot downfield, 14, wide open, and a great catch, but there is a flag, and I think this one is going to go against Carmel.
Yeah, that's not really what the Hounds needed, but we'll see what the penalty is. Just waiting a moment. The ball is not looking like it's going to be picked back up. It'll be, I think, maybe roughing the passer or a horse collar tackle for the Hounds. So even more yardage tacked on after the penalty. So not what the Hounds, they got to clean it up.
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, this game's been pretty clean up until the third quarter. I think that's just because the Greyhounds are getting desperate. They're saying, hey, I want to make a big play. I want to make a big stop. But you have to remember the basics. You have to remember the fundamentals. You know, get the right kind of tackle down. Get the right kind of block. Time it right. And I think they're kind of getting a little bit sloppy with that horse collar right there. As now Jackson once again set up. And that will be a false start on number 79, the right tackle.
Yeah, great. It's just Center Grove, now that they're in the red zone, maybe a bit too jumpy to get into the end zone from the red zone. So they'll pay a fine of 5 yards there and move back just a bit, and it'll be 1st and 15 for the Trojans.
And again, as I mentioned, this game is getting a little bit sloppy. I mean, it's getting a little bit late. The current time is 8:50, even though it's not that late. These guys have been training hard for weeks and weeks on end, and that doesn't really have to do much with it, but, you know, it's an intense game. I mean, this is a huge rivalry game as it's tossed off to number 13, and he is going to be taken down well behind the line of the scrimmage. What a great play by the Carmel defense, and Brandon Wheat cannot go anywhere.
Yeah, that's a fantastic stop right there. I mean, the defense made a great read on the wide receiver coming over on the jet sweep. Jackson, he dished it off to his wide receiver coming around behind him, and his wide receiver was not able to go anywhere. It was a great read by the defense, and really what they needed to get some momentum going as the Trojans lose 3 yards.
They were going to the top side, or the far side on the top of your screen right now, and yet again another flag, and this one looks like a false start, and it will be a false start.
Now it's the Trojans playing sloppy. It's 2nd and 23. They can't keep just giving away these penalties and just digging themselves a deeper hole. They got 2 minutes left in the 3rd quarter, but you're just giving Carmel more fuel.
Yeah, I mean, obviously this is good for Carmel. It's 2nd and 23. If you make a big stop right here, if they go to the outside, once again on the very top of your screen, they're going to go there. And that's what happened last time with Brandon Wheat. They stopped him on the outside. And now Jackson. And pressure up the middle, and he is going to escape. And a catch! He caught it! Oh, what a play down the field. A spectacular catch.
However, there is a flag on the play. It'll be holding on the offense, so that's going to be coming back, Mark. All that effort from Jackson and his receiver is thrown away, washed away like a tide on the beach.
And that's not good, as Harrison Stomps had that sensational catch. He was on double coverage and was able to get that ball. But really, they're still playing sloppy football. Holding penalties. They've had 3 penalties in a row. 2 false starts and now a holding penalty. And now they're backed up to the Greyhounds' 41-yard line.
I've never seen this. I have never seen it be 2nd and 37. I've never seen this. This is bizarre.
I mean, this has happened with the Browns in the NFL,
they are the Browns.
I've never seen it in high school, as hands it off to Wheat. Going once again to the upside route, the top side route, and once again, they love going to that top far side. And that's something that the Greyhounds are starting to crack on. But I'm going to say, be careful, because they might switch it up. Knowing this team is so crafty, they have a lot of different kind of playmakers. They may just go to the right side instead of the left side.
Well, absolutely. I think, but the defense also has to be wary of a big pass play maybe from Jackson. He's got a great arm. He can throw it with ease down even into the end zone, so we'll see what happens.
As Jackson, feeling the pressure from the crowd, takes a step back, looks, fires, it's caught! Wide open, and he's not going down just yet.
It's still going to bring up a 4th down, I do believe. So it might be, I think it's going to be the field goal team coming on, but it makes that field goal attempt much, much easier for the Center Grove kicker.
And once again, a great play by Harrison Stomps, getting the ball, make sure he's securing it, turning around, because he basically got immediately hit as he was coming off of that catch. And you see a lot of rookie wide receivers, in general, they get the ball and then they look too fast without securing the ball and they drop it. That's a great play by Stomps. Unfortunately for Center Grove, not a 1st down, but hey, that was a good play. And that is good.
Yeah, good kick with 36 seconds left to go in the 3rd quarter, but Center Grove is now up by 20 points.
Which essentially is a 3-score game, which is not good for the Carmel Greyhounds. With 36.5 seconds left to go in the 3rd quarter, Carmel is going to have to do some kind of prayer right now and get some kind of miracle if they want to have a chance of pulling away this game.
Yeah, I think with Center Grove, they have the most fans I've seen come to a Carmel game at all this season. I mean, granted, last week was Detroit, so I mean, not a lot of fans came back, but Center Grove has such a huge following that has come to Carmel Stadium to support their team. I wonder if that's played a factor in the 20-point lead that the Trojans have now.
And also, I think it's just because they're not doing a good job of reading the offense, really. I mean, it's just props to Jackson and that stout offense with Weems and Wheat and both Wheats. They're just doing a good job of kind of shaking it up a little bit and really using their speed and agility to juke around the defenders. And it's just, I mean, Carmel is just trying to do their best, but they're just not doing a good job of reading them.
No, they're really not. They got to figure out something. Maybe they take a timeout, or at the break of the quarter and 36 seconds of play, once the clock winds down, maybe they can get a mental reset and change something on defense.
The kick is up, and it will go out of bounds, and that will be a flag.
Yeah, can't have those kicks out of bounds. It gives Carmel's going to have some really, really solid field position now.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they need, but they need, and I have said this 50 bajillion times, they need to get first down conversions. They need to get first downs. They need to stop getting 3 and outs because they're not good. They're not going anywhere. They're not winning. Nope. They're not doing anything with that.
No, they aren't. So it looks like the ball's going to be spotted at the 35-yard line for the Carmel Greyhounds. And still Leighton Lukowski, and no changes at the quarterback position so far, as Jack Kazmierzak, of course, was taken out of the game in the first quarter. But Leighton Lukowski's been doing pretty well so far.
I mean, he's a good over-the-middle pass, not the deepest passes. As Lukowski hands it off to Hall. Hall trying to find some room, and he does not get a lot of room there as he's stopped.
Big news, the Hounds are out of the negative on rushing yards.
That is a positive.
It is certainly a positive, but it's not, it's at the end of the third quarter. So you wonder if they could have gotten that going a bit earlier, how different this game could have been. Maybe it wouldn't have been a 20-point deficit going into the fourth quarter.
And it looks like they're just going to run the clock down until the fourth quarter starts. And that will be the end of the third quarter. Trojans 27-17. They scored 17 points in the matter of 12 minutes. That is absolutely insane.
Yeah, it's not what the Hounds wanted. They need a miracle here, and they need something fast.
And this game is just not going well for the Greyhounds. They need a quick turnaround in this game.
Absolutely. I think they just got to try to rely on the pass game and something, just find something that works and beat the dead horse. Just find something. If you can find a dead horse, beat it. But if there's nothing, then I don't know. I mean, there's just nothing you can do at this point except for hope for a miracle.
I think they need to utilize the slant route more. And I've said it before, but those slant routes can be so tricky and under the radar. And also, yeah, it may not get you the most amount of yards, but it'll get you solid yards. I mean, the rushing game clearly is not working.
All right. I mean, I think that the rush game, yeah, it's not working too well, but it's maybe they try to get something going here, you know?
And as of right now, Lukowski is back on the field for Carmel. Lukowski hands it up, fake hands off. He's taking the ball himself, and a first down play, and even more. What a sensational play by Leighton Lukowski using his legs.
Well, maybe they found something. Maybe they get the quarterback to run a bit more, huh? It seemed to work there. They got about 20 yards off of that, and Leighton Lukowski using his legs yet again to get another first down for the Hounds. It's maybe what they needed, and another spark on the first play of the first quarter, or fourth quarter, excuse me.
Yeah, and that's an absolutely sensational play by Lukowski. He gets hit, doesn't stop. He keeps going, and that's just an overall great play. As Lukowski sets up, gets the ball, trying to find someone, takes a shot, over to, oh, what a great play by Desmond Duffy.
Yeah, Desmond Duffy made a great play, put the juke, put his defender on skates and went out of bounds for a gain of 5 yards. So those incremental gains, that's what you need right now, but I think they're going to need to go bigger because there's only 11 and a half minutes left in this one. That's not a lot of time to score 20 points.
Yeah, I mean, I would also say try to get it out of, try to get the guy, get the ball, get it secured, and go out of bounds so they don't have to use timeouts and they can stop the clock as much as they want to. And also, I think they need to utilize Lukowski kind of like Lamar Jackson, the Ravens, using that rush. I mean, it worked the first time it did it, as he takes himself once again, and that's this time a decent amount of yards were covered.
Yeah, that's what we're looking for, or that's what the Hounds are looking for. If I'm the Hounds, I want Lukowski to be running, but not getting hurt, not taking unnecessary risk. We don't want his quarter, or we don't want our quarter, or if I'm the Hounds, we don't want our quarterback to get hurt, and it does look like, unfortunately, the Hounds do have an injured lineman on the field.
That's not good for the Greyhounds, as they need as many linemen as they can get as of right now.
Yeah, you always hate to see a kid going down with an injury. I think that's Ryan Pauly, not entirely sure, but it seems to be some sort of a leg injury, but he is still down on the field. Not what you want to see for either team. You always just want to see a good, healthy game, but he is getting up now, I do believe, or at least trying to, hopefully.
Hopefully he can get back up and walk on his own without assistance, but it looks like he actually might need some assistance.
No, excuse me, that's not Ryan Pauly. That would be, that is, I believe, number 61 for the Hounds. Eric Keffer, the left tackle, is up on his feet. He's walked off on his own power, so hopefully he'll be okay and he'll be back in the game in a couple of minutes.
And walking off the field by himself,
it's always a good sign.
Yeah, that's always a good sign, and hopefully he can make a good and expedient return.
But now it will be number 71, Jack Stark on the left tackle position, and number 70, Spencer Barrett on the right tackle, subbing in for Jack Stark, who went over to left tackle off of the injury.
Lukowski once again in the pocket, right next to him, Ethan Hall. This time he takes it, looks, fires downfield, and is an incomplete pass, unfortunately.
Yeah, it was a good try. Targeted receiver was Desmond Duffy in the middle of the field, but no catch there, and it'll be 3rd and 10, I do believe, for the Hounds. No, excuse me, it'll be 2nd and 10 now for the Hounds. Nothing happening there on first down.
And Eric Keffer is going into the blue tent as we speak as of right now. Hopefully he will be all right.
Certainly do hope so.
And right now they're trying to figure out what play call they want to do.
They've only got 8 seconds left on the play clock, so they got to hurry up. 5 seconds now.
Lukowski's trying to hustle him up. Gets it off just in time with 1 second to spare. Gets it down the middle, and it looks like it is going to be enough for a first down.
Yeah, Reese Bellin, the hero of last week's game. Wide receiver, number 26, Reese Bellin, with the catch on that one. Coming across in the middle of the field with that slant route. They're going to run a no-huddle offense here as Lukowski's back in the shotgun.
Once again, you said it, slant routes, they work so well, and that is why they work so well. As Lukowski goes, hands off to Hall, and he will get nowhere. That's why the rushing is not going to work in this game.
Yeah, that was Owen Green on the stop for the Trojans. The big defensive tackle getting off his block and making the big stop for his team. Now it's 4th and 3. The Hounds, they've got to go for it.
They have to. I think they don't have a choice. I mean, even if they don't even get the first down, it's not the best yard position for the Trojans, so you're not really sacrificing a whole lot if you don't get it. Obviously, winners get 4th down, so
I think you've got to throw the ball here on 4th down.
Get that slant route. Lukowski backs up, fires, gets it, incomplete to Ethan Hall, and that will be another turnover.
Yeah, Ethan Hall, he couldn't haul that one in. Lukowski's thrown a couple of bad low passes, and now with the 20-point deficit, the Hounds couldn't convert into any points whatsoever on that drive. That's got to just be a soul crusher of this Hounds team.
I mean, that's not good, as Leighton Lukowski threw that, again, as you said, way, way, way too low. It's actually typically rookie quarterbacks or newer guys on the field throw a little bit high, actually. So throwing a little bit low is understandable. Now, switching the gears, Jackson is on the field for the Trojans as he hands it off to Weems, as Weems gets a decent amount of yards.
Yeah, the Center Grove Trojans are approaching 400 yards of total offense. Just an absolutely dominant offensive showing from all sides for the Trojans, but especially that running game with Weems and Wheat, right? We see Weems and Wheat in the backfield, just a dual threat. Which is it going to be? You cover one, the other one's going to get open.
Yeah, I mean, you do a fake handoff to one, and the other one is right there to get the ball. As he hands it off, look at the Wheat. Wheat is then stuffed up just short of the first down.
Yeah, so it'll be a third down opportunity for the Hounds. They're going to need a stop here to get the ball back quickly. Only about a minute and a half elapsed for the Trojans in this possession. I think the Trojans, they need to start salting that clock down away, just chewing it up, giving the Hounds less and less time to score more at the end of this game.
They need to make those short plays, but get first down still and inch their way to the end zone. Because, again, there's about roughly 8:20 left on the clock as of right now. The situation looking very grim as it's handoff to Wheat. Then there goes Wheat, and that's a touchdown for the Trojans, and that will probably seal the game.
Yeah, Wheat just broke away for a 60-yard touchdown, and that'll just put a damper in this crowd as you see a couple of students in the student section starting to leave the gates. That's just a defensive mishap for the Hounds. Really just not excusable there.
Yeah, I mean, the defense is doing an absolutely horrible job of just defending the rush. I mean, 338 yards of rushing. They've allowed that much. And this defense, again, has 6 players that have 10 solo tackles in the season as of right now. And overall, a pretty solid defense. And the kick is good for the extra point. I think one lesson that they're going to learn from this game is defense, defense, defense. Offense need to get third downs consistently because that is why they are losing this game. They need to get third downs or else they aren't going to get points.
Yeah, and I think that the Hounds, they just have so much to work on, but it's also kind of a positive because they have a ton to work on in practice, but maybe the coaches aren't going to be too happy about this one.
I mean, at least it's a very definitive reason, or not reason, but definitive things they have to work on in this game. And it's just sad to see the Hounds fall down this far. But I'm excited to see what the Trojans can do in the future. It's going to, whenever or if we ever play them again, it's going to be a very, very exciting game.
The chances of Carmel bringing this one back, maybe forcing it to overtime, is incredibly slim, but it is still there. You have to remember, the game is never over until that clock hits 0.
Yeah, I mean, as long as the Trojans don't have it for the last 2 minutes, and if the Hounds have the 3 timeouts, game ain't over. The game is not over.
No, it is not.
But coming down from a 34-7 deficit, that's like Peyton Manning levels. I'm not even sure Peyton Manning could do something like that.
Yeah, it's tough. The whole team has to be together, and they have to pull off play after play. Big gains, and quick stops on defensive turnovers.
Yeah, I mean, look at some of the greats, Joe Montana, Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, and that will once again be another flag on the play as it goes out of bounds.
Yeah, Center Grove's kicker, that's twice now, I think, that he's kicked it out of bounds. Maybe he needs to work on his kickoffs a bit, but the rest of his team, really not much they need to work on.
I mean, I would just say small, picky things that are really, really technical, but overall, they've been doing a pretty darn good job with just absolutely punishing the defensive line with rushing. And for the most part, when they have done passing, it's been pretty effective. I mean, they have 97 yards. They're probably going to break over 100 passing. I genuinely would not even be surprised if they do. Carmel has 109 passing yards, and they only have 22 rushing. So that's one thing Carmel definitely has to work on offense, is getting those rushing yards down and getting a solidified number 1.
Yeah, so it looks like the penalty is going to be taken in the form of a redone kickoff being moved back by 5 yards. So it'll be a kickoff from the 35-yard line for the Center Grove Trojans. And, I mean, not what they wanted to see on that kickoff, but not really too much of an issue for Nolan Foley.
And it's pretty quiet on the Carmel side as we're sitting here on the. It's pretty quiet on both sides as Desmond Duffy takes the snap, and he is going to be taken down after getting the recovery. Right now, the hopes for Carmel are basically gone.
They're slim. 8 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, but now they have an offensive possession. Maybe they can just try to get something going. Maybe something can happen, a big play downfield. Leighton Lukowski will still be in the game for the Hounds, so nothing has changed in the quarterback department as it did earlier. But the Hounds, they gotta work on maybe they can get their running backs more involved in the passing game. Some screens, some dump passes, stuff like that. What they haven't really tried a lot this game.
Play actions, bootlegs, other stuff like that. As Lukowski with Hall right next to him, hands it off, fakes hands it off, and Desmond Duffy, as I mentioned earlier, he turned too quickly. The ball was in his hands. He looked over, not securing it just in time, and the ball comes flying out, and that's one issue that a lot of receivers have.
Well, I don't think it's entirely on Desmond Duffy there, because Desmond Duffy was on a slant route from the slot, and Leighton Lukowski didn't lead him as effective as he could have.
Yeah, and also I do agree with that, but Desmond Duffy, I mean, the late receivers, they get those kind of catches. As Lukowski, they got two receivers on top and bottom. Takes a shot, and I don't know where he was looking, but that ball was just.
You know, it could have come out of the hand, maybe wrong, maybe it slipped out of the hand, but not a good throw there, and it'll be 3rd and 10 for the Hounds.
I mean, the guy was right in front of him. He must have had that tunnel vision where he's focusing just on that receiver, and he doesn't see the defender. I mean, that happens a lot with quarterbacks, especially a lot of like non-starting quarterbacks.
Yeah, I mean Leighton Lukowski. He's made some good throws, but not also some subpar ones so far.
And they're stacking 3 receivers on the top. Fires, down the middle, and he's going downfield, and he is not gone, but down at the 10-yard line. A great run by the main man himself, Jaden King. I have not been able to call his name a lot, but he has been a playmaker on this offense.
Yeah, Jaden King with the reception all the way downfield, about a 60-yard gain, and breathes a bit of life maybe back into the student section and the stadium as a whole, as the Hounds will be 1st and goal on the 10-yard line. So they're in the red zone in great scoring position here, Mark.
And that was a great play by the Greyhounds, a nice little fake there. And Jaden King was wide open. That was a big mistake by the defense there. Hands it off. It's a fake handoff to Lukowski, and that's going to go absolutely nowhere.
Yeah, Lukowski could not get an open lane down the near side of the field, and he's going to be stuffed up, pushed out of bounds at, I believe, the 11-yard line. So it'll be 2nd and 11 for the Hounds now.
And right now, they're starting to lose a little bit of momentum. They really need to pick that back up and slam it into the end zone, because if they don't, this game, they have no chance. They have to score a touchdown. They have to get 7 points. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if they go for 8 in a sense. But
yeah, they might have to go for the 2-point conversion. At
that point, it'd be too risky if they don't get it, and they're down by, they only get 6, not 7. Lukowski looks, fires, and it's incomplete. Almost caught. That was such a close catch, and it looks like he is slow to get up. As that was Desmond, looked like it was, Jaden King, my apologies.
Yeah, Jaden King was a bit winded on the hit there. I don't know if he's going to the sideline. Yeah, it looks like he's going to go to the sideline. We hope he's okay, but he looks winded. He took a big hit in the end zone and wasn't able to come down with that ball.
And that is not good for the Greyhounds if Jaden King goes out. He is one of their star wide receivers. And if he goes out, that's a huge loss on the offense. Once again, stacking 3 receivers on the top. Lukowski. And there is going to be a flag. And
got some unruly fans here in the stands now. That is not what you want to see at all. My goodness.
And there's a
Wow.
massive fight happening in the crowd right now. And,
That is unbelievable.
and thankfully, it is being stopped.
Wow, that's not okay at all. You
That is
cannot have that happen.
That is completely immature and nonsense, and
No.
shouldn't be happening.
That is not what we wanted to see. But back to football. Thank goodness. 7 minutes, 15 seconds left in this game. It's 34-7, of course. The Hounds in good scoring position. But Jaden King, hopefully he'll be okay. Still on the sideline, I do believe. Maybe getting checked out. Hopefully he's not hurt too bad.
Yeah, I mean, again, if he's out for the rest of the game, or he's out for a long time, that would not be good for the Greyhounds. And it looks like they're trying to resolve the issue as it looks like as of right now it's good. But they're still having some communication things on the field.
Yeah, hopefully we get back to action here. Sorry to make all our viewers wait, but looks like we're about to get going here again. The referee blows his whistle, and we're ready to get going back to football.
And now, once again, Lukowski in the pocket. Gets the snap, trying to find someone. Looks, he's going to take it, and he is in for a touchdown. What a play by Lukowski.
Yeah, Lukowski, he shows off his mobility as a quarterback. We pinned him as a pocket passer in the pregame show, but he has proved us wrong in the best way possible with a touchdown there with the legs. Doesn't need the arm. He'll just run it in himself.
And also, that was just a great play. He saw that the open field there, didn't see anybody, so he went for the run option instead, and he went straight into the end zone. And he's showing some good signs, and I think he could be a pretty good, capable number 2.
Yeah, I mean, it was a really, really great heads-up play. Didn't find anybody open in the end zone, and he just decided to tuck and run. Had an open line in the middle of the field to get it into the end zone. So great play there from Leighton Lukowski.
Yeah, and now this game is down to a 20-point deficit once again. But again, I think that Carmel at this point is probably just going for glory points at this point.
I mean, it's not over yet. That was they didn't take a lot of time off the clock. It's still 7 minutes left in the fourth quarter, so anything could happen.
Yeah, but I mean, the way that the defense is playing, they're just letting guys like Weems and guys like Wheat just slip through the defensive line and get big gains and potential scores. So, but a positive is that Carmel still has all 3 of their timeouts, and their passing yardage has massively increased. 173 passing yards.
So I see good news. Jaden King has just reemerged from the locker room and is now sitting back on the bench with his teammates. So good to see. We might get to see a bit more of him today. Hopefully that injury was not too bad and he's been cleared to come back out into action.
And that's awesome because the Greyhounds must have a big sigh of relief because that is a huge win for the Greyhounds, having him come back and being able to play.
Absolutely. Now we're ready for the kickoff here in Carmel.
And received, taken up. He's going downfield, and oh, the ball comes loose, and the Greyhounds have it. Oh, what a great play by the defense.
What a play by the Greyhounds. This is what they needed, Mark. They needed a turnover. They needed a special opportunity, and they've just pounced on it. The Hounds with a great fumble recovery, and now they've got it almost in the red zone at the 30-yard line. This is what the Hounds needed, Mark.
That was an absolutely sensational play by the defense there, and that is what I was waiting to see from this defense. They got the ball out of the guy's hands and immediately jumped on it.
Now this game, it's got life in it now. There is more of a chance now than ever, I think, for the Hounds to bring this back because the crowd's back in it, the team is back in it, the morale is back up, and now we're ready to go.
I mean, this game could get exciting, but the Greyhounds have a long way to go. Zakowski scrambles, trying to find someone, loses the football, but fortunately for the Greyhounds, it goes out of bounds.
Yeah, he couldn't find anything open. So great coverage by the secondary on the side of Center Grove. Great coverage like we've seen all night from them. I think one of the main keys, Leighton Lukowski, we've talked about it earlier. Leighton Lukowski using his legs to get more gains, but to get more yardage for the Hounds, but nothing doing there. Did not work for him on that opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, trying to get outside just didn't, and then the defense just stuffed him up. But let's see what Lukowski can do on this second drive. Lukowski gets the ball, looks, fires, and it is intercepted by Center Grove. And they just lost that opportunity with that sensational strip. And now Center Grove will get the ball back.
That is crushing for this Hounds defense, or this Hounds offense, and especially Leighton Lukowski. He knows he's made a mistake, but a great interception. The ball's picked off at the 40-yard line, and it'll be Center Grove ball. The opportunity that they had just a couple minutes ago is now washed away.
And it looks like the staff is not really happy right now. And right now, it's back to what it was before. I mean, it's rough. And I think Leighton Lukowski has thrown 2 interceptions in this game. As now, and it looks like it was Weems who had the ball. And there's now some shoving and a flag, and that's going to be against Carmel.
Yeah, Carmel, some people would say, oh, now they're really trying to play with heart, but I think this is just frustration. You can't. You got to control your frustration. I know if you're a Hounds player, you're down a lot right now. It's not fun. You don't enjoy it, but you can't show it like that.
Yeah, I mentioned it earlier in the first half. You know, championship players, they just keep it in. I mean, you look at guys. I'm going to go to basketball for a little bit, like Kevin Durant in his earlier years. I mean, he would shoot a ball or get fouled, and he would just have a blank stare on his face. He wouldn't shout. He wouldn't get in people's faces. Nowadays, he does more of it. But in his earlier days, he was more composed. And, I mean, the guy's a winner. He's won numerous NBA championships. And, yeah, I mean, he's a composed player. And another guy, Peyton Manning, more relevant to football, I mean, he would mess up a play, and he had this kind of, like, frown a little bit.
Very stoic, yeah.
Yeah, very stoic. He would keep it to himself, and he wouldn't get mad at other players. I mean, he would, but he would just keep it on the field. And that's the kind of player that, you know, winners have. As now, Weems, with the ball, gets a solid gain of roughly 5 to 6 yards. But as I was talking about, that kind of composure really goes a long way. I mean, you keep it on the field. You know, if you want to get all mad and stuff, go to the locker room and do that. You know, don't do it on the field. Don't do it in front of the cameras. It's not worth it.
I think also, I mean, back to, like, the play on the field, I've been loving the battle in the trench on the line of scrimmage throughout this entire game. I got to give it to the entire offensive line unit for the Trojans. They've been working hard this entire night. Now with 5 minutes and 45 seconds left, they're still working as hard as they did the first snap of the game.
And right now, they're all scrunched up. They're not playing deep. As a handoff to Wheat. Wheat on the upside, and this time he's tripped up.
Yeah, good stop there. Great tackle by the Hounds, but it still lets him get about 5 yards, and it'll be 3rd and 4 now at the 34-yard line.
And that stop was by number 45, Will Helt, the outside linebacker. And that was a great read by the Carmel Greyhounds. I mean, they like going to the outside, and they read that, and they say, hey, he's going up to the far side. Let's take him out. And they got him down. As now Jackson lines up. Got a lot of guys in the backfield. As Weems gets the ball, he's pushing, and it looks like he is going to be just short of the first down.
Yeah, we'll see where the referees mark it, but I agree with you. I think it's just going to be just short of, maybe it might be 4th and inches here. Yeah, it'll be 4th and inches here. Let's see. And it does look like Center Grove is going to go for it. The sensible thing to do. Why would you punt if you have this great field position and a chance to ice the game?
At this point in time, I mean, 4 minutes left to go. It's basically 4th and inches. You could either QB sneak it, or you could send it to one of your reliable running backs and just punch it to the middle. And it looks like they're going for a run option, as they will, as Weems gets an easy first down.
Yeah, great blocking again, just pushing the Carmel defenders out of the way and making space for their running back.
And now it's another textbook play by the Center Grove Trojans, and now they are continuing to run the clock down.
Mark, I just looked at the scoreboard, and I've just seen that the Center Grove Trojans have more than double the offensive yardage, the total yardage of the Hounds this game. It's just not been a great outing for either side of the Hounds, either defense or offense.
And as you see on the scoreboard, it's just hit over, the Greyhounds have just hit over 200 total yards. And now, Wheat is taken down for roughly a 4-yard gain.
Yeah, he's just been great all night. What else? I think we've said everything that could be said about his efforts tonight. Of course, along with Weems, they've both been fantastic for the Center Grove Trojans tonight, and it's manifested itself all night in every aspect of the game.
And it looks like Center Grove fans are running up to the scoreboard and celebrating as they will basically win, and they are booing them as the Center Grove fans are getting a little bit, snarky.
Yeah, well, they think they own the place coming in here and winning, but it's. I do enjoy the Carmel student section's response to it. Some pretty hearty boos coming over here, and now they've got the phone flashlights over there.
And now they're running over to the Carmel side. This might not end well for the Greyhounds.
Okay. Interesting response there from Center Grove fans based on the outcome of this football game, but the Carmel student section doesn't like it either. They are getting a bit rowdy. This might not end well at all.
I don't think this is going to end well at all, as there are police officers on the scene. Hopefully there is not a fight, but there are a lot of people rushing out.
Yeah, now they're going to leave. Okay. And that's enough of that.
And that's not the kind of stuff you want to see at a football game.
That's not what you want to see at all. That's not right. Come on. I mean, I think personally, I'm fine with the gloating by the scoreboard, but when you come over here and you're like, start to get a bit close, I don't know. You just don't want to provoke. You just don't want to provoke things.
And they're once again doing it again. I just think it's a little bit much. But, I mean, hey, the Trojans earned it. They played their butts off, and they worked so hard for this win. And they worked so hard to be 11th ranked in the nation. So,
right.
I mean, but I think this is a little bit too much. And they call Carmel kids the snotty rich kids.
Hey.
That's an example of that.
It is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, it's sort of true. But
they're just cheering for their team and how they want to. But we're going to get back to the football game here. I think we got 2 minutes and 53 seconds left in this game. 14-34. The Hounds are down big by 20 points yet again. We've seen it a couple of times tonight. We're still waiting on more action here from Carmel Stadium. Looks like we're about to get ready back to go here as the Trojans are inside the red zone at the 9-yard line.
And right now, as you can see, emotions are just absolutely at an all-time high. Not only for the Center Grove Trojans, but for the Hounds. I mean, they've basically sealed the Trojans have won this game. There's about 2:30 left to go, and that play is going to be another touchdown for the Trojans.
Yeah, I think before this, the chances for the Hounds to win were slim to none, and Mark, I think Slim just left the building.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, Trojans are going to be 3-0, and they will take the lead in the MIC, and the Hounds will fall to 2-1.
Yeah, looking forward for the Hounds. A lot of people said that the first 3 opponents they played in the season were their 3 most difficult opponents. First week they had Trinity, which Carmel beat. Last week they had Detroit King, which they beat as well. But unfortunately they can't win against Center Grove tonight. But they tried their best. They played hard.
Yeah, and then again, it's just because they know each other better. I mean, the team from Michigan, they didn't really know, and Trinity to an extent. But, I mean, hey, look, they played their heart out. They played the best they could. Hey, they came out of a 3-game stretch, 2-1. That's still really darn good.
Right.
And we've also been shown that they can come up with clutch plays, like the last game against King High School. I mean, that was a fantastic game from start to finish. But unfortunately, the Greyhounds cannot bring a miracle here. Now, I think some things the Greyhounds have to work on: defense.
I absolutely agree. It's not. There's nothing else to say except that the defensive line, especially, needs to work on getting more pressure into the quarterback's mind.
Yeah, and the pass rush is not that strong this year, as it has been in years past. I mean, even last year in the championship year, that pass rush was pretty darn good. And it just goes to show that, a lot of inexperience can go a long way. And also, I think that the Greyhounds have to improve on reading plays, because they are constantly going up on the far side, and they're getting those outside plays, and they're just not reading those.
No, yeah, the defensive recognition. I think this weekend, the Hounds defense is going to spend a lot of time in the film room studying some video of this game and see what they can do better next time out.
Yeah, I just think it's a lot more film than it is going to be practicing. But practicing physical, and that's some nice spin moves actually by number 83. Definitely more of a depth player there. But it looks like now they're just kind of bringing out their depth players.
Yeah, Adrian Caldwell on the return there, but it'll still be Leighton Lukowski in at quarterback for the Hounds, getting in some reps. And next week, maybe Zach Osborne could be ready to return as we get past the 2-minute mark in this fourth quarter. Of course, no 2-minute warning in IHSA football. But as I was saying, Zach Osborne maybe, and if you're the Hounds, hopefully he can be back next week to lead this team to a win.
Yeah, I mean, if Zach Osborne were the quarterback in this game would be completely different.
But I think you have to give it to Leighton Lukowski and Jack Kazmierzak. They're trying their best, of course.
Yes, but I also think that, with that kind of quarterback play and that level of quarterback that he is and how talented he is, you just can't really replace that. I mean, if you can, but it's extremely difficult. And so I definitely think that they're really going to have to work on their backup quarterbacks, Kazmierzak and Lukowski, but I definitely think they should make Lukowski number 2. I genuinely would not even be surprised if they moved number 2. They need to fix their rushing game. Their running game is just weak. 29 yards to 377. Yeah, that's not the best ratio you want if you're the Carmel Greyhounds. And once again, the run got stuffed. Not good for the Greyhounds.
Yeah, not what they wanted, but what can you do? I mean, except for practice for next week's game, is 30 seconds left to go. This one is 100% over.
So the Trojans will move to 3-0, and the Greyhounds will move to 2-1. Not a bad start for the Greyhounds, but not the start they really wanted. They wanted to be undefeated.
Absolutely. I mean, neither of these teams could have undefeated seasons, as of course they're playing each other now. And with 10 seconds, this is going to be the last play of the game. This one is over for the Hounds. Lukowski will get a bit of a run there, but nothing more you can do. 3, 2, 1, and this one's over.
And that'll be it for the game. Trojans 41 and the Greyhounds 14, and they take the bell, which has been a ceremony ever since the 1998 season, and they deserved it. Congratulations to the Center Grove Trojans on their hard-earned win.
Yeah, I mean, they were just the better team tonight, I think. The Center Grove Trojans, the Carmel Greyhounds have so much to work on for next week's game.
Yeah, overall, congratulations once again to the Trojans, and good luck next time, Greyhounds. Hello, Carmel Greyhounds. Welcome back to our broadcast of the Carmel High School versus Center Grove Trojans game. Unfortunately, the Greyhounds fell short of a massive blowout victory for the Center Grove Trojans, 41-14, as the Greyhounds could not get the rush game down and they could not stop their rush game as they got over 330 yards of total rushing.
Yeah, it was absolute domination in the running game for the Trojans tonight. The Hounds need to spend a lot of time looking at film, looking over what went wrong in this game so they can fix it next time out.
And hey, the Center Grove Trojans proved that numbers don't always define what your team is. They were statistically worse than the Greyhounds, but they massively outperformed them.
And they proved their number 11 ranking in the country.
Yep, they solidified that. That has been your game coverage. It's been a pleasure being your play-by-play announcer.
I've been Andrew Hillsman for CHTV alongside my good friend Mark Bisbecos.
And we'll see you guys next time.